Hey, what's up, folks? Welcome to the stream. The game has started. We are watching Alexandra Chess play OTB. She's not at the board right now. She's not there, but I promise she's coming back. We got
Where did she
Jesse,
go?
Jesse in the house.
I'm
Jesse
gonna be
February.
watching. Oh, sorry, go ahead. I'm
No, no,
cutting you
hello,
off over
hello.
there.
It's all good.
Hi,
We'll
Kostya.
figure it out. How's it going? Good to see you here.
I'm good. Yeah, it's really cool to be here. It's my first time commentating on this tournament, so you're gonna have to catch me up on like all the spice that's been happening and stuff. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Yeah, absolutely. I've been watching a couple of the games. This is round five. I think I saw rounds one, three, and four, and yeah, it's been really cool. You may know I worked with Alex like a bit. We did a couple lessons recently, and now it's been fun like watching her play and seeing how she does OTB. I think this is her first OTB tournament in like 3 years, so it's
Oh,
been a while.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. But so far she's done, I think, absolutely fine. I think she has 2 out of 4. She played down twice, she won. She played up twice, she lost. Her games playing up, I think they were pretty close, like pretty fighting games. And her games playing down were
Mm,
pretty clean. And yeah, now round five here, she's
okay.
playing black against, I think, 2200 player from India. So strong
Yeah, this
opponent.
is her second time in a row playing up, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this tournament they do like some
Junior.
weird accelerated pairings thing that I don't understand. But
Oh,
basically, yeah, they I don't know. But she has 2 points. Her opponent has 2 points. I think at some point it goes back to just being like a normal Swiss tournament. Although, oh, Thors
okay.
is
Yeah.
telling me the opponent has 1.5 points.
Yes, 1.5. That's what I saw when I saw on chess results. I was trying to gather as much information about the event before actually stepping in. I didn't want to be completely clueless. But yeah, I also just learned about the 15-minute delay of the moves. So what we see on camera and what we see on chess.com are going to be completely different. But I think Kostya has the big screen up of Alexandra's board, so he'll be able to keep us posted as to what's happening. Do we have like a King's Indian defense? My
Yeah,
eyesight is horrible, but you can help us out there.
no, all good. Yeah, I've got it bigger than the folks on yeah, seeing it on Twitch. But basically it's a Fian Keto King's Indian. I'm not sure exactly what the move order is gonna be, but I can show folks the we can get to the live position basically. White in some order played like knight to c3 and then g3. Black played like a very typical King's Indian setup, like knight f6, castles, castles. At some point, black played knight c6, white went d4. Alexander played a6, which is a pretty typical move. And I think white pushed d5, looks like. Knight a5 was the response. And now b3. I think this is the live position here after b3 with Alex to play. And
I'm gonna
just
try
based
and
on
look on
her.
stream as to what you're
Mhm.
doing. I'm doing like blindfold chess here.
Yeah, I know. It'll be a sec for you to catch up. But I think pretty
I
much up
find
until
this
this
setup
moment,
kind
it's
of
like
scary.
she. I think she's familiar with this. Um, or do you mean scary for black?
Yeah, I've often encountered, I mean, not particularly playing like this for black, but a setup like this where white plays, double fianchetto almost. And it's
Hmm.
sort of difficult for me to find a plan. Do you attack on the king side? Do you go like h5, h4, or something crazy? Do you start on the queen side? Like, what is the usual plan here?
Yeah, these positions are definitely not simple. A lot of times, I think in the Fianchetto systems, yeah, it's like harder for black to get a king side attack, so you do have to play a little bit more on the queen side. But the positions are so tricky. There are many situations where it's like, no, now you switch over to the king side, right? You just have to kind of figure it out. Are you a King's Indian player?
I'm not. I've been told that I should start learning to play different openings for black, like the Grunfeld, and trying out the King's Indian. but I was never sure against d4 or one knight f3, what would be good for black to play as an attacking player, because that's sort of what I think I am. And so I've been trying to find a good opening because maybe my theory is not my strongest suit. So what would you recommend?
Well, oh man, been waiting all day for this question. So definitely, as a attacking dynamic player, either the Grunfeld or the King's Indian definitely would be good choices. Um, Personally, I play the King's Indian. I've been playing it for a few years. The main difference I would say between the two is that the Grunfeld does come with a lot more like theory. I think you would have to know. Whereas the King's
Hmm.
Indian, you can definitely play it more based on like feeling and understanding the structures, the positions. So I would 100% suggest the King's Indian. I just think it's a great opening, um, just through and through.
Yeah, I wanted to take after the grandfather of the Grunfeld, Mr. Peter Svidler. So I wanted to try and start playing the Grunfeld. But I do like this idea of the King's Indian. And you say that there's less theory, is that correct? Or it's less complex?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's less complicated. I would say both are like really, really complicated, but you can definitely do both. And I think that would only help your chess to play like different kinds of positions in general. You get exposed to different types of middle games. And there are many cases in both openings where it would help to know like some King's Indian ideas in the Grunfeld or some Grunfeld ideas in the King's Indian. You know, a lot of the ideas can transfer over. Your bishop is on G7 after all, and like that's going to lead to tactics on the diagonal. So whether you play one or the other, a lot of it will transfer over. But yeah, with the Grunfeld, I would say there's, um, I don't know, it feels like there's a lot more specific theory. And if you misplay the opening, a lot of times you can just get a bad position, no space, and no attack. With the King's Indian, if you misplay the opening, you can still get a bad position, no space, but you'll always have the attack. You'll always have the king side attack. So there's like, I feel
Okay.
like there's a little bit more to play for. And yeah, I would definitely say that the King's Indian, especially, is very much like ideas based, meaning like you learn like a structure, like how to play a specific position. You're playing for like these plans, these ideas, these tactics. And then whether you know the theory or not, like you can still kind of figure it out over the board and you can get like a very playable position regardless.
I've never heard of a position where you have very little space, but still prospects to attack. So I think you have me sold. But I'm also hearing an excuse here. So if I play a game and I decide to play the King's Indian defense and I lose, I can just blame Kostya. There we go.
Yeah, no, but by all means, I think it can only help your chess. I mean, yeah, for me, I learned it when I was playing the Nimzo, I was playing D4 as white, and I was getting wrecked a lot as a D4 player against the King's Indian. And so I was like, well, either this is the
Oh,
perfect opening, and it just beats D4, right? Or I'm doing something wrong, right? So I decided to learn, and then it was very helpful actually from the white side as well.
what is the most annoying thing about the King's Indian with when playing white?
When playing white, well, yes, the fact that it's never over, right? Like you get, it's the reverse, right? It's like you can get a great position, tons of space, huge counterplay on the queen side, and then you still lose the game. So Hikaru Nakamura is a great King's Indian player, one of the just all-time best King's Indian players ever, and he's had a number of games where he comes out of the opening like worse against someone like Kramnik or Gelfand, just really up there, but then still beats them because he's able to generate this counterplay. I remember this one game he was playing against Anand, and somehow he messed up the opening, and he was like down a tempo on another game where he was like already worse. So he was like in a worse situation than usual, and he still managed to like outplay Anand and trick him and like win this like amazing game. Um, so yeah, it's a very stringy opening.
Wow, if the King's Indian defense can beat former world champion, then it's gotta be good.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, wait, we lost the
Wait, what's happening
lost
on
the
the board
camera.
right now? What happened to the
So
camera?
we lost the camera. This happened yesterday for a second, and then the camera came back. So I don't know. I don't know what happened. I'm hoping it comes back. It's a little bit
Camera
concerning.
delay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's okay. People can look at the little Discord uh, template for a while. That's fine.
Image there. As far as
Discord moment.
I know, I think we're still on the position after B3. I think
So
Alex
let me
is
check.
thinking here. Oh, we got the camera back. Whew. Okay, that's good.
That is good. So wait, on chess.com we have a6 on the board. Does this mean Alexander? Okay, Alexandra's actually playing. Wait, is Alexandra playing with the black pieces here?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So then would she maybe go for something like rook b8 and b5 at some stage? What is the point of a6?
Yeah, so when
Hmm.
black plays a6, that's definitely the idea in these positions. Rook b8 is usually the next move. So you already like have the instincts to play the king there. And then
I'm
b5 and
halfway
trying to
there.
get this queenside counterplay.
Uh-huh.
Um, so
Does white play
that's
a4 to stop it?
they can. It does give up the b4 square, and sometimes you'll see black just playing a5 in response, just losing the
Hmm.
tempo, but then just fixing that b4 square. And then yeah, like all of black's pieces kind of find some nice positions. So like the knight can go to b4, and then at some point black will play pawn to c6, and then the bishop comes out somewhere, and then yeah, the knight on b4 is hard to dislodge. Oh, I saw a question. What's the best resource to learn the King's Indian? I mean, there's a few. I definitely
Watch
learned.
Hikaru Blitz videos.
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
exactly.
yes, you were about to suggest something more practical.
No, I mean, like honestly, I think looking at games is kind of the best thing to do. It's like you need to pick up a lot of ideas. I will shamelessly plug that I'm working on a King's Indian course right now for the dojo. Like we have this training program. We've been doing these like opening repertoires, just like very basic, like for players under 1800, like really simple, not a lot of lines. Kind of like the opposite of like
Shameless
a.
plug. Love it.
Thank you. Just like really minimal, just like the basics. So I'm working on a King's Indian course. I think it's very good to like learn like the fundamentals of the opening. I also put in a bunch of exercises like typical tactics that you would see. I'll happily give you the course for free. You're welcome to have it if you're interested.
I would probably do it on stream. That's perfect. Well, maybe not on stream because people have to go and check it out themselves and see the magic.
No, are you kidding? I
But
would I would
apparently you
love for
did.
you to do it on stream by all means. No,
Oh,
that'd be awesome.
really? Okay, cool.
That'd
Deal.
be great.
Yeah, so
Perfect.
apparently you did a King's Indian, what is it, speed run? Sorry, your chat was going kind of fast there.
Mm-hmm.
Watch Kostya speed run with the King's Indian defense.
That's true. I did a speed run on YouTube of playing like King's Indian. I think it was like chess.com, like rapid games or something. But yeah, actually, there are a lot of nice comments there on that YouTube series. You don't always get, nice comments on the YouTube. So I think people really, really appreciated it. But yeah, I like play some King's Indian games. I go up the rating ladder. I like explain my thoughts. I face a lot of like London systems and like typical
Mhm.
sidelines, and I think
Ooh,
people
the
like to
London.
see how. Yeah, nowadays it's like people are always worried about the King's Indian, but half your games are going to be like London, Jobava London,
Yeah.
E3. Like,
I think I posted on Twitter about your London system video or something along those lines. I can't
oh
remember exactly
yeah.
which video it was. And I was like, wow, I've always had this problem and now I don't have this problem anymore. Thank you so much, Kostya. Yeah, it's like a whole hashtag ad, not an ad vibe. No, that was great.
I forgot about
So,
that, but yeah, thank you for doing that.
no, of course, because I had a whole revelation afterwards. But you were speaking about negative comments. It reminded me of how Gotham Chess was handling all these negative
Hmm.
comments and like feedback to his videos. He would pin them
Right.
on the YouTube video and like respond to them or like make it, use it as content for like comedic effect. But yeah, I guess there'll always be those negative. comments, but I'm sure majority of them are positive. I mean, you guys are doing a great job
Yeah,
with
for
all
the
the
most part,
education content.
yeah, for the most part, people are very, very nice to us. And like, yeah, occasionally you'll get one comment and you scroll past the 30 good comments and you just see the one, of course, that just that gets you. By the way, I don't know if you saw there on the camera, it was Pepe Cuenca in the background. He was checking out the games.
Oh,
Oh, he's there right
I
now.
don't
You can
see
see
it.
him. He's wearing the black tank top right there.
Oh, wait, is that an orange jacket? It's so small on my screen.
No, no
No, it's
jacket.
not.
He's
It's just his arms. That's brilliant.
dude. He's
I
ripped.
have such
He's
a
yeah.
keen eye. I'm
Oh,
so
that's funny.
sorry, Pepe. Oh my
No, yeah, he's
gosh.
got he's got big arms.
And
Yeah,
Anamaya is sitting next to Alexandra
that's
over
right.
there.
Yeah, they're neighbors for this tournament because they gave them this table for the streams,
Oh,
and
nice. Oh, I didn't see the tripod for Anamaya as well.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
She's been streaming, um, and Lily Carizzi, Hannah's there as well. I
Everyone
think
is
that's
there. The
yeah, a lot
whole
of
Twitch
streamers.
party. Nice. That's so
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, because Alexandra said that she had some last minute invite to the event.
Hmm.
So I wonder if they were inviting a bunch of streamers to participate. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
The
That
joys
the
of living in Europe.
right, it's like a very streamer friendly event, um, which
Mhm.
I think is very smart. I think that's what tournaments should be doing if they want like kind of more attention and coverage is to invite influencers. Have you played in Spain much?
I've never been to Spain. I've never been to Spain, but some good news is I will be visiting Spain this year for the first time. So
Nice.
just before the stream, I had sort of told you, and I can tell everyone else now, I guess, as well, that I'll be in Barcelona in September. So the beginning of September for a couple of days. Yeah.
Oh,
And
very
you,
cool.
have you played?
I've been to Spain. Yes, yes, I played the Benasque Open. I forgot. But
You
that
had to
one,
think there for a second.
yeah, I forgot it was in. You said Barcelona, and I was like, oh, I've never played in Barcelona. That messed me up. But yeah, so I had to travel through Spain to get to Gibraltar, where I played a couple times, which was really cool. But yeah, then a few years later, I played in the Benasque Open with our friend Eric Rosen. We traveled together for that trip, and that was super fun.
Yeah,
Very much
the
enjoyed
newly
it there.
found bestie. But you guys have been friends for years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that was our first like big trip together. Like we had known each other for a couple of years, but I don't think we had like really traveled together before that. And then we went to like Romania together, played and conquered an event there, and then we went to yeah, Spain, and I think that was it. I think we might have traveled through another place, but yeah, it was a fun trip. Oh, I'm sure we hung out
Okay,
in
awesome.
Reykjavik too at some point.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask, we're gonna have some like visitors in this room, like for a few seconds. If you could
Oh yeah,
maybe like
I'm ready.
just give me a few minutes and I'll be right back.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got your picture ready to go.
Oh, awesome. Awesome, awesome.
All right, I hope people really
Okay, I'm
enjoy
just
this
gonna
one.
ask my chat to behave and of course Kostya is gonna say some really nice things. So
Yeah,
I'll be right back. Thank you.
of course. See ya. All right, there's Jesse. She'll be back in a sec. Folks, I guess we can talk a little bit about the position. Oh, I saw the question from Stelly. How did it go yesterday for her? So unfortunately, she lost yesterday. She was playing up. It was a pretty tough game. After Queen G5, Black basically had a lot of counterplay in the position, and was able to attack her king pretty successfully. Um, is Jesse's name under her cam supposed to reflect her Twitch username? Yeah, is it not? Is it not Jesse? Is it not Jesse Feb? I thought she's just. Is it her full name, Jesse February? I can fix it. I thought it was Jesse Feb. Oh, underscore Feb. Thank you so much. I will fix it. Thank you, thank you. See, she's so nice. Like she would never mention it. Unbelievable. Okay, let's fix it. Where is it? There we go. Boom. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's the mod's job. So b3, Alex has been thinking basically the whole time on this position. I believe up until this point, until a6, she was prepared because she is a King's Indian player, and this line has been well known, so I'm sure she played this one or planned to play this one. Then d5, knight a5 is very typical when white advances. In general, in this line, black is playing knight a5 to attack the c-pawn. And now after b3, she's gone for a long think. My guess is because she was expecting the move knight to d2. This is kind of a more typical move for white to play in these positions, defending the c-pawn this way. And then eventually what white does here is they play queen c2, b3, bishop b2, and kind of developing the queen side this way. And in general, what black does here is they play c5. And the point of c5 is to make sure that our knight doesn't get trapped with b4, but also gives black some space on the queen side, and then black plays for the b5 plan. Rook b8, bishop d7, b5. And like this, black tries to get queenside counterplay. At some point, black can throw an e6 or e5, playing on the king side as well, even h5, especially now that the knight on d2 has moved away. And that's kind of how these positions are played out. But b3 is a bit of a wrinkle. b3 is a bit of a wrinkle. It looks like the same kind of approach, but Alex is taking a lot of time here because she's trying to understand if there's any difference, especially when white plays b3. You know, it's like waving a red flag in front of the bishop on g7. And the first move, or the first moves you should be checking in this position are going to be like knight e4, knight takes d5. So I imagine Alex is probably calculating these moves, and if she feels like they're not good, then she'll probably play something like c5 here, followed by this typical plan like rook b8 and b5. But yeah, knight takes d5, I feel like is not quite working here for black. Typical problem is that after knight takes d5, white wins one piece. Bishop takes a1, black grabs the rook, so black is up the exchange. But then white has this move bishop to d2. So this is kind of the killer that is often a problem for black, where there's two pieces under attack. And if black can't save both pieces, black is going to end up down two pieces for the rook in a middle game, which I think is going to be very, very dangerous. So normally this probably isn't going to be great for white. Let's get move sounds on, so this can be a proper chess stream.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt you there, but I am back, and I had a really good giggle at the photo you selected. Thank you. It looks like
Great.
huge flex, huge flex.
I'm glad you liked it.
Oh my gosh. I thought you had some like funny meme or something available, but yeah, definitely way better. Um, True spirits of chess, putting the vibes out there for Alexandra.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm very interested to see what's going on here with the moves that you're making on the board with bishop takes a1 and so on. Did that happen? Or
This
is
did
that
not happen. I was just kind of showing like, okay, so back in this position after knight a5, I'm gonna give a sec because I know you're on the delay. But when black goes knight a5, white typically plays knight d2 to defend the c-pawn. Instead, her opponent went b3, which I think is also normal, but maybe she wasn't expecting it. And whenever white plays b3, I was saying like first move you should check is knight takes d5 in this kind of position with the bishop on g7. This could be a tactic that just wins material on the spot. But I was thinking it probably doesn't work because of white taking back. So they win one piece, bishop takes a1, black grabs the rook, and then bishop d2 hits two pieces. And this feels like white gets two pieces for the rook and probably a very, very nice middle game. So, yeah, I think that's not working for
right?
black, and she should just follow the kind of typical plan of going c5 and then playing for the b5 break, like rook b8, b5, which is probably what she was preparing um, anyways. But as I've noticed, Alex does spend a lot of time when she's out of book, which is both good and bad. Good in the sense
Mm.
that it's good to think, but bad in the sense that sometimes she spends too much time and then runs into time trouble. So it's like
Ooh.
you gotta find the balance.
So has time trouble been a recurring problem this event?
I would say actually it hasn't been a huge issue. The two games I saw that she played down, she was like down on the clock in both games, maybe even quite significantly. But she outplayed her opponents pretty quickly, so it was never like a huge concern. But against stronger players, especially if they're kind of playing on the faster side, it could definitely be an issue. Like even if you have a pretty equal position, but 30 minutes less on the clock, like that can be very unpleasant because there's no second time control. It's just 90 plus 30. So once you're down on the clock, it's hard to come back.
Right. Is there a way for white to attack the knight here? What would black have to do? Would black have to play like an intermediate, like b6 to get the knight back in case, like bishop d2, for instance?
Um, yeah, so right, this knight on a5 is always funny, but black's idea is actually to just kind of leave it floating. Like it's the queen's job to keep an eye on it basically and just hope that white doesn't have enough enough time to attack. So black will like play for b5 and try to put enough pressure on c4 that it's hard for white to organize any attacks on the knight. And okay, looks like she just played c5, which I'm happy to see. I think this is the right move. I'm sure there's a bunch of games here in terms of the theory, but uh, once you play c5 here, I mean, it's clear that she's going to go for the b5 plan. So she'll probably follow theory, even if she's not 100% sure about the line. But yeah, you go b5. You try to put an attack on c4. At a certain point, you may like play b4 if you absolutely have to. But generally, I would say like black is not trying to close the queen side. You're actually trying to like keep the play alive.
Mm.
But yeah, it's a tough position. White's gonna start building up here like bishop b2, queen c2, knight d2. White has a lot of moves they can make just like pretty quickly and kind of improve their position. And then it's going to be a big fight. White might like start pushing e4 at some point, f4, taking a lot of space. So it's going to be a very, very real King's Indian struggle.
Yeah, and something I shouldn't even be focusing on. I mean, we're focusing on the chess. I'm listening to you describe all these things. I'm like, how do they connect their cameras to be available in the playing hall? I'm like trying to figure out all the like technical stuff. Have you done something like that before?
I haven't really done this myself. I have seen people do it. Do you mean like the streamers, right? Um,
Yeah.
so I think what you need is like so yeah, Alex is just using her phone essentially. We have like a Discord call. So you need a phone. I think you need a tripod, and you probably need like either like a battery pack or to be close enough to an outlet. But probably a battery pack is like more concise in terms of you don't want like a bunch of cords floating around.
True. Oh, maybe I was going on Anamayu setup. It looks like a full-on camera. I
Oh,
don't know. Maybe I'm
yeah.
wrong.
That looks like a yeah, like a real guy.
A real guy. A
That
real
looks
boy.
like a big boy camera. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there are ways. Yeah, I'm sure there are ways to do it with normal cameras as well. But yeah, I feel like the phone is the easiest. Oh, he took on Passant. Interesting. Interesting. Must
Ooh.
be an avid Reddit user.
An avid.
Oops. You know
Uh,
that.
I didn't see that coming. You have such a straight face, and then you have the joke. Do you take back with the pawn or the knight here?
Yeah, good question. I'm honestly not Not sure. In a lot of cases, both are kind of fine. My instincts typically say you take with the pawn because you want to control the d5 square. I would probably take with the pawn, all things considered. Like if I didn't know anything about the position, just to make sure that the knight doesn't land on d5 and we can bring our knight back. Like either knight b7, knight c5, or maybe at some point black plays c5 and the knight can come back via c6. And then we are kind of giving up the d5 square again, but at least our knight can return to the game. She actually took with the knight pretty quickly. I don't think this is necessarily bad, but yeah, we'll see where this goes. Because now it's the structure is it's interesting. It's kind of almost like a Sicilian, right? Like the C and D pawns have been traded, and it's like a very funny dragon.
Yeah, maybe to avoid there being an isolated pawn, and these now, the two pawn islands, but the two pawns on B and A are connected. I love this one comment in Twitch chat. What do you mean Emperson is forced if you want to be taken seriously? True. If you
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
accept ampersand, you are a joke in the chess community. Confirmed.
No, it was so funny. Like my brother sent me some puzzles, and like I couldn't solve them. It was like some made in two because I didn't understand the rule. I didn't understand the rules of the game. But yeah, now I get it.
You said you thought your brother was joking?
Well, no, like he sent me a puzzle where basically it's like
Oh,
it's a made in
okay.
two,
Hmm.
but it's only a made in two if you make a move where the opponent goes on passant. They don't have to go on passant, but then they go on passant, and then it's a mate because they went on passant. So if you don't know that en passant is forced, you're not going to solve this puzzle because you're like, all right, I have this move, but no one's going to take.
Oh, true. Okay, okay. Makes
so,
sense.
so it's
It's
very,
like
yeah,
check. It's forced to take. Yeah.
absolutely, yeah, totally new genre of chess puzzles. I think I know why Alex took on c6 with the knight actually pretty quickly. Like she
Yeah.
didn't even think about it much because she also plays the accelerated dragon. And so for her, I
Okay.
think this structure is very familiar with the knight on c6
Um,
and probably feels at home here.
right. Then it would just look almost like a Meraxi, I guess, but with the fianchetto and the pawn not on e4. I
Right.
don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
But
trying to
that
make
is,
sense of it myself.
that's kind of that's kind of the key question. It's like, is this better than a Marazzi? Worse? Equal? Like, just, just like different. That honestly isn't clear. Hard to say.
And who would you play with here, white or black?
Probably still take white. I think white has a pleasant position. Like bishop can go to b2. The knight has a square on d5. It seems like white has this
Hmm.
comfortable space. But I don't think it's like a huge advantage. Are you a d4 player or do you mostly play e4?
That is a very loaded question. So my entire life I played e4.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the recent tournaments I played d4. I mean, these
Mm-hmm.
are publicly available games. I played stuff like the Tory, or at least tried to play the Tory attack as a secret weapon. I played one game with the Jobava London, hated myself afterwards, but it was fun. I got some really great because I played it in the African Championship, so I wanted there to be some like surprise elements to my repertoire. Not that I have a very solid repertoire, but I tried my best. And it worked out mostly. And I don't know, I'm a huge advocate for like being against D4 and hating on the London. So
Oh.
yeah, I went against all my beliefs that tournament.
Oh wow. Yeah, you have to be
Yeah,
really
what about you?
careful before denouncing an opening because one day you might want to play it.
You're not allowed to, exactly. So you should just I tried to hide it from everyone, but that they found the games, unfortunately. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's really
I lost all my credibility that day.
that's really funny. But I mean, it's good to mix it up. I mean, I think it makes sense. Like I do believe in playing e4 for most players, like when they're starting out. So I like that you were playing that. And yeah, at a certain point, a lot of players switch or they start kind of branching out and learning new stuff. And I think it can only kind of help in general, even if short-term results don't go your way because it's like a different opening, you still get
Mm.
experience and can kind of learn from it.
XP
What's your
points.
FIDE rating at these days?
We don't talk about that,
Sorry,
Kostya.
we're not-
Not on screen.
I'm sorry.
No, it's also it's about like 1850, I think.
Oh, okay.
Possibly lower. It's the last tournament I played. Yeah, junior players are just so dangerous these days, I'm telling you.
I
Especially
bet.
when there are three games in one day. But I hope to play some more. I mean, I do have a goal. My goal is 2100,
Mm-hmm.
just because in 2021 I won the African Championship, and if I get to 2100, I get the direct title, Woman Grandmaster. So that's the
Oh.
goal.
Oh, I see. Oh, so you need 2100. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's a great goal.
And what about you? What's your rating right now?
Let's see. I don't know if it's updated. I was over 2400 recently, but after my latest two events, I will probably be, let's say, eligible for the under 2400 prize. So that's
Okay,
cool. It'll be
nice.
my, I don't know, eighth or tenth time that I'll be eligible for under 20. I won so many under 2400 prizes. I just keep going up and down, up and down.
Oh, okay. So we can't claim that you're sandbagging because it's there for now, and soon enough you'll be 2500 and steamrolling everyone. Is that like a goal of yours?
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. I want to up the rating. Fight for the GM title. 2500 would be cool. It's very hard.
I thought you were GM already, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I fully thought that, oh, you're
Huh.
a grandmaster. No, honestly, I'm
Wow.
surprised. Wow.
Dang. Yeah, no, just pleb I am. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Pleb. No, you gotta claim it. Be like, I
Wow.
don't know what you're talking about. Fide just made a typo. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. Wait, so you thought I was a 2400 GM?
No, I thought you made the requirements and then something happened and you just went like a little bit more down, you know?
Gotcha, gotcha.
It's
Actually,
still
you
a
know what?
compliment.
You're not too far off the truth. My co-pilot on this channel, David Pruis, he actually does have
Mm.
all three GM norms, but he never made the rating, like 2500. And now his FIDE rating is actually much, much lower. So, yeah, he's kind of in that situation where it's just, and he'll admit it himself. It's just very hard to get the rating up. But he actually does have all
Yeah.
three GM norms, which is very, very difficult. I mean,
Okay. Is he still actively playing?
no, he plays very rarely these days. Maybe like a couple events a year, because he's just very busy with like his family and now with dojo and all this stuff. But hopefully he plays soon. He's actually moving to France very soon, like this summer. So he'll be
He's
in Europe.
moving? What?
He's moving with his
Why?
family to
Oh,
France. Yeah,
nice.
I think because his kids are still pretty young, and I think he spent some time in France when he was a kid, and he really liked it. He wants to give them that same experience, and yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. Do you have any norms?
No norms, no norms.
Okay. So you and Eric Rosen are going to be playing a bunch of events, working together. You guys can just become GM together. That'll be amazing.
That's the dream. I hope so. I mean, look, I enjoy playing and I enjoy studying and like the process of improving still. So as long as like that's the case, I think I'll just keep playing and yeah, like win or lose, I very much enjoy the game. But yeah, it's always. I mean, I think it's important to have something to kind of strive for, like some kind of chess player you want to be one day, like this level, and that gives you kind of
Mhm.
some ideals to try to follow.
Okay. So, I mean, is it Magnus Carlsen? It means you might have to grow your hair a little bit longer, though.
Yeah, I would love to be closer to Magnus in terms of his strength, his chess strength,
Uh-huh.
his capabilities, his energy. Um, I wasn't a fan of the recent hair, to be honest. Because he was also playing bad. I made this point a while ago on stream. I'm like, because he had like bad hair a couple of years ago in 2019, I think, but he was just crushing everybody. He was just having like 2,900 performances, and it's like if you are playing like a god, you can have whatever hair you want. But there was this one tournament where he wasn't playing well and he had bad hair, and it's like, no, Magnus, that's too much. You can't do that, and you like given up the world championship already. So yeah.
Well, would you argue that after Jan got a haircut during the World Championship match, he actually played better chess?
Uh, I don't think so. He kind of collapsed in the second half of that match.
Okay, so he was real life Samson. That's a bit of a juggle then. Do you grow your hair out? Do you keep cutting it? That is or do you keep like half your head of hair?
Yeah, I
Okay,
think
interesting.
my opinion, again, pleb I am. I think if if you're playing well, you can have any hair you want, but that's a big risk, right? It's like saying you're going to win a tournament before it happens. Like you better win that
Oh,
tournament, once you do that, right? If you don't, it's like, oof, it's not a good look. Not a good look.
I suppose it's also part superstitious. Are you superstitious at all?
I mean, I think to an extent, probably not as much as other people, but I feel like it's a little foolish to just dismiss it altogether.
I feel
Oh,
like you
sorry,
have
we
some
do have
secrets
some
that you don't
moves.
want to. Oh, they are?
Yeah,
Please
yeah.
share
Let
them
me
with us.
just update people. No, it's all
I'm
good. The
stuck with
game
three.
progresses pretty slowly anyway. But Bishop G5 was played. Alexander went H6, which I think is reasonable, posing the question to the bishop, and then White went back Bishop to D2. So I guess arguing that he's induced this move H6 as a weakness. There is some logic to this. Like sometimes White plays Queen C1 and then can get a tempo on this pawn, but it remains to be seen how useful this is still. And Alex looks like she played Bishop F5. So, okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep up with the position. I think I have it on stream now.
Great.
So was bishop f5 the last move that was made?
Yeah, looks like. And yeah, White is thinking he has an hour and 15 minutes, and Alex has just over an hour. So,
Awesome.
tense game.
Okay, I'm gonna run off to the restroom real quick. Is that fine? You
Of
gonna
course.
manage?
No.
Oh
Yeah, you're
no.
good.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Go ahead. Yeah, sorry, Paspon. I don't mean to offend anyone by calling myself a pleb. I am. I'm just trying to express that like, okay, I'm good at chess. I understand that, but there's like such a difference between me and like grandmaster, strong grandmaster, super grandmaster. Like, yeah, there are just different levels to this game. Yeah, it's like when Jesse calls himself a chump GM. You know, I wouldn't put it in those terms. I respect all grandmasters. They got the title. And he got the title for real. Like with norms, it wasn't some random thing. But yeah, if Jesse wants to call himself a chump grandmaster, that's totally fine. Yeah, sorry folks, we have 3 chats going. We're streaming on Alexander's channel, on Jesse February's channel, and on Dojo's channel. So I do apologize if I am not 100% up on the chat. But I see the chess question. Any tips for going over the games if you don't find it fun? Okay, let's think about this one. I don't want to give it too rash of an answer. But definitely the point of looking over your games is not like to necessarily have a good time, and it rarely is fun to review like your mistakes and your losses. Obviously, I would say the main point is to improve and get stronger, and do better for next time. No one likes making mistakes, but it does happen to everyone, and it will happen over and over again. The more chess you play, the more mistakes you'll make. That's just kind of how it goes. And every super GM has made tons and tons of just like painful mistakes on their way up. Especially like, people have messed up games in the final round. There's norms on the line, money on the line, national championship on the line, Olympiad on the line. There are all kinds of like painful moments that chess players have had. And it's kind of just all part of the process, right? So maybe it helps to put a little bit in perspective. The games that you lose today will probably not even be the most painful games you'll lose, right? It's like, you're on the road to much more painful defeats in your career. But the main idea behind looking over your games is to try to understand chess a little bit better. Try to learn some new ideas that weren't familiar to you during the game. Try to understand yourself a little bit better. What kinds of moves or mistakes you're often making or missing. And yeah, in general, it's a difficult process, but I would keep on the horizon, the idea or the dream that you're going to be a stronger chess player on the other side of the game analysis. Yeah, Mari Pand, where did you go? We were I just gave this very heartfelt answer for like 2 minutes. Yeah, it's all right. You can there'll be a VOD. You can watch it. Yeah, sorry for missing the question earlier. But yeah, just to sum up, reviewing games is kind of a difficult process. Oh, it was about analyzing games about openings. Oh. Oh, I see. I guess some stuff could still apply. So, right, when I'm studying the games of like strong players, I'm really just trying to figure out, what it's like to play like Bobby Fischer or Garry Kasparov or Hikaru Nakamura, like all these like King's Indian players. I'm trying to get inside their mind a bit and try to understand how they see the position. So for me, it's not exactly a private lesson with them where they're showing me their games and showing me all their ideas, but it's kind of on the way, right? Just looking through their games, trying to analyze, understand key details, especially if you find some like annotated games. Whenever we go through annotated games, I feel like that's super useful to get the insight of the player. I think one of the main benefits of going through games is like it just gives you a sense of what the level of chess needs to be like at a higher level. Like to play a sacrifice, how far would you need to calculate to justify this in the calculations to make it work? Because if you analyze the game, you can start breaking it down. Like, okay, they play this pawn sacrifice here and then this piece sacrifice here. And it's like, okay, they had to have seen like that they were going to be sacrificing the piece, right? Otherwise, they get nothing for their pawn sacrifice, right? And then you start to get an idea of like how far back they're seeing things, and you're like, whoa. You're like, oh my god. And then it forces you to confront your own calculation skills and start working on your, it's like very inspirational, right? Gets you to like working on your own games, but or your own skills, but it also is just very useful in terms of learning ideas and picking up typical ideas about the position. Yeah, I know a lot of players, they don't really like going through games that aren't annotated. So I usually suggest to play through annotated games because I feel like they're more interesting and it's easier to understand, obviously, if someone is kind of breaking it down in terms of like the variations and some of the key details. When it comes to just playing through games that are like unannotated and having to get something out of it, then I think you have to work a little bit harder. You do have to kind of mine a bit more for the gold. But what I would do is like if Anand's games don't speak to you, I imagine the coach suggested Anand's games for a reason. Anand is like super tactical, very dynamic. Maybe there are other players that are similar that I don't know you would find more interest. That's always where I started. Like I remember really looking up to certain chess players like Kasparov, Carlsen, and just like finding all their games and like just playing through all of them, right? Because I was just super interested. Like, oh, I want to see like what Magnus's games were like when he was 15 years old and already really strong, or I want to see what his games were like when he was 17 years old. That's also like, you know, kind of interesting to me. So I think it is important to kind of relate to the player you're studying so that you actually have an interest in their games and how they approached chess. Who are your favorite players, Jesse?
Oh, you saw that I came back.
Mm-hmm.
Hi. No, my favorite player is this international master called Kostya, you know. Love
Oh,
his games, his speed runs and stuff like that.
oh, how about that?
So when I was in high school, there was one book that I really, really liked reading. It was the I think it was Capablanca's like best endings or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the exact name of the book, but it was basically a book about Capablanca's like end games and let me try to find it actually.
Yeah, it sounds like a famous book by Irving Chernev. I think he had a book of that
Yes,
title.
that's it. Yeah,
Nice.
that is it.
Very cool. That's in our
About you?
dojo training program. That's one of our recommended books. Yeah, very, very
Oh.
highly recommended for sure.
And what about you? Well, who's your favorite player or favorite book?
Wait, so you're saying you really enjoyed Kappa's games?
Yeah, so probably, Jose Raul Capablanca,
Wow.
Mr. Sir. And because I'm an attacking player and sacrifice slash blunder all my pieces, I'm gonna go with Tull as well.
Yeah, because Jose is like polar opposite to that to that style.
Yeah,
He's like one of the most accurate players of all time, which is crazy because he's around like 1920s, 1910s.
yeah.
That's wild. Um, he's cool. Tala's a great one for sure. I guess you know the first player that really inspired me in terms of their chess was actually Fischer. I remember studying his book, My 60 Memorable Games.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh, I
Obviously,
have that book.
he has
Good one.
his mental struggles that kind of
Mhm.
are a separate thing. But in terms of his chess, that was the first player that like reading that book, I got a sense of how strong he was, and I was just like, holy cow. Um,
There's amazing introductions for the chapters, though.
yeah, have you gone through it much?
I have. I think I read about like three-quarters of it
Oh,
from what I
great,
remember. They were
cool.
very like witty introductions and how he would describe was it him that spoke about how he just needed or he needed a win for a tournament and
Mm-hmm.
there was someone who needed him to draw the game, who'd sort of walked past and his opponent offered him a draw and just because he knew this person needed him to draw the game, he was like, "No, I'm not going to draw. I'm going to win this game." And he ended up going on to win it. I can't remember if it was that particular situation or if I'm talking absolute nonsense right now.
No, that's
Um,
funny. That does sound like something Fisher would do. Although he generally wouldn't need extra motivation to win a game other than, it
yeah.
started. But yeah,
Okay.
I'm sure that drove him even further.
Yeah.
That's funny. I
My knowledge and memory is very like scattered and random.
All right.
That's
Interesting. Yeah,
cool.
I
That.
think the intros in that book were written by Grandmaster Larry Evans, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, he was writing like I think some of the stories I think leading up to the games. But yeah, Fisher's notes I think are oh man, very very just legendary.
So Bobby Fischer is your favorite?
Um, so I don't know if I'd say he's my favorite player. He's definitely one of the first that I really enjoyed studying. Um, these days, I definitely like Magnus Carlsen again as a player. As a person, fine, but as a player, especially. Uh,
Have you met
no, I don't know him. I don't know. But
Yeah.
I did meet him once for like a photo, but that was like a
Uh-huh.
second long thing. Um, but of course, his games I think are just incredible. I think he's just
Uh-huh.
truly an amazing player. So I feel like he's good. I've always been a fan of Ivanchuk's games as well. Chucky, very creative player. Really, some brilliant games. But there are so many. Oh man, there are so many good players in history. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I got haunted by Chucky as a kid. And not
Oh
the
yeah.
chess player, the movie.
Oh, I see. Right. Yeah, different Chucky.
Different Chucky, different look, different vibe. Maybe over the board, no.
Yeah, a bit of a different vibe.
What
Yeah, but
was
not over the
was
board.
played? Oh, sorry, continue.
Sorry, no, not over the board. Exactly right.
Yeah. I was gonna ask what was the last move that was played. Yeah.
Okay, looks like White played 91, and then
Okay.
Alex responded with Queen D7.
Hmm.
So 108 for White. It's his turn. 55 for Alex. And Queen D7 I like. 91, I think White's trying to maneuver probably to C2 and then maybe even E3. But in the meantime, Black can play Bishop H3, trade off White's fianchetto bishop, try to leave White with some kingside weaknesses. Honestly, I'm liking Alex's position. I think she has a very reasonable situation here.
So as you mentioned, lack of space, but always prospects to attack. That's what I'm latching onto.
Yeah. Yeah, and here it's not even that much lack of space. It's like one d5 square, you know? How much could this cost anyway? Um, but
Trust
yeah.
in the dojo. In dojo we trust.
um,
Amazing. So Queen D7. Would it be a good idea to go for this Bishop H3? Do you think this is the plan?
I think that's what she wants. Yeah, I would probably play Bishop
Mm.
H3 next, and then you still have Rook B and B5 in reserve as an idea
Mm.
to always latch on to the C pawn. Yeah, I actually don't really see a reason why Black should be worse here at all. Like Bishop on G7 is working, and all the pieces have squares. Rooks are connected. So
I was never really sure why this idea of playing stuff like Bishop H3 or Bishop H6 to try and get rid of this bishop was always such a good idea. I always knew that it was good and that the opponent would try to stop it by playing like rook to the E file and
right.
bishop back to the H file. But I never really knew why.
Yeah.
Um, this is me sort of asking for a different, like, tell me why it happens, because I'm too ashamed to say that I still don't know why.
Well, good for you. Yeah, to admit. um, let's see. So I think the basic reason, just basic reason, the reason why we trade off these bishops. Hopefully, it's not too basic. I don't mean to insult you, but the basic reason is that it leaves the enemy king with weak squares around the fianchettoed structure, right? Because White played G3, and so once you trade off that bishop, there's going to be light squared weaknesses. But more advanced, it's like, of course, this isn't always leading to a better situation. So there are definitely cases where it's like the side that's trading off the bishop, like going bishop h3 or bishop h6, like their bishop is actually more useful in the position. There are a lot of King's Indian positions, in fact, where trading off the bishops wouldn't make sense because it's a closed structure. There are pawns on d6 and e5, all the dark squares. Black's bishop on g7 is basically like a bad bishop. And in those cases, it often doesn't make sense for White. It's like Black that wants to trade off these bishops because Black has the bad bishop. But the general idea is like, yeah, you just leave the other side with some kingside weaknesses, and then you try to exploit it with your other pieces.
That's very, very insightful. Okay, awesome.
Did that make sense? Is that clear?
Yeah. So you're saying that in the King's Indian meaning now? it would be better for her to keep the bishop, or it doesn't really matter here.
Well, here I do think black's dark through bishop is a really good piece because the
Mhm.
diagonal is open. So here I think it would be in white's interests to trade it if they could.
Mm,
Like if white could set up queen c1 and bishop h6, I think that would be nice
yeah.
for them. And same thing for black because white's bishop on g2 looks like a very nice piece. I think it's absolutely helpful to trade it off with bishop h3. Um, okay,
Yeah,
I
for me,
can
it was
give
always
you
about the,
yeah.
if I may, like the
Mhm.
evaluation of the bishop being based on the pawns in the center. So if there were static pawns in the center, it would be able to tell me which bishop is good and which is bad. But usually open positions like this, it's very hard for me to tell because I'm always relying on the concept of, okay, this is gonna tell me whether it's good or bad. Now I have to come up with my own sort of decisions and not base it on some concept. I have to be creative. And that's my shortfall.
No, exactly. Well, actually relates to what I just wanted to say. It's like there's a very useful way to kind of think about trades, like a framework that maybe will help. Because the classic thing
Mm,
that people do is they often think like, oh, should I trade the bishop pair? Is my bishop better or is their bishop better? Who's getting more out of this trade? But what you actually should be doing is thinking about the pieces that are going to be left on the board and evaluating the situation there, because it's like that's actually what's more important is like the resulting situation and like who's going to be better off without the bishop. So it's not really always about like, oh, whose bishop is controlling more squares or whose knight is more active or anything like that. A lot of times sometimes it is. It's like, okay, if your opponent's queen is super active, you're getting attacked, you want to trade queens. But if you think about it, it's also like you're trading queens because you want an endgame without queens. It's like you're looking for that situation without those pieces, right? Or without the bishops. So Fischer had a very famous game against Petrosian where he traded off what everyone would call a good knight for a bad bishop.
mhm.
But it was actually like a completely correct decision. It was shocking at the time. They didn't even understand it for like several years later until someone like annotated the
What?
game. But it was
Ahead of its
actually yeah, way ahead of his time because he
time.
realized in the resulting endgame he would have a bishop against knight and his bishop would be much stronger than the
Wow.
enemy knight. So it was like
I always wanted to be able to quote a game like that, be like, yeah, in 1918, there's a game between Anonymous and Anonymous's friend. That's really, really cool. Wow.
uh,
Do you study the classics? Was that one of your claims to fame?
I guess so. I feel like I've seen a lot of games, especially okay. I've been coaching for a lot of years, so you see a lot of games time and time again because you show them to a bunch of students. The trick with streaming, it's like you can also just make stuff up, and no one will really. You can just say, "Oh, Botvinnik Petrosian, 1950, whatever," and you know,
I'd believe you, to be
exactly.
honest.
I believe myself. So
Yeah,
you just have to
that's
say
incredible.
it. You should try it. You should try it. I'll see if I can sniff it out.
Yeah. No, that's what I learned from Rebecca from hashtag chess, who is also one of my close friends. She said to me that if you say anything, doesn't matter if it's true or not, with enough belief and enough seriousness, it's bound to be believable. So,
100%.
yeah, and then she tested this out on me, and I actually believed her. So, yeah, I think
Exactly.
it's.
I don't even know if she really said that, but I totally believe you that she did.
Wait, is 95 was played?
95 on the board. Yeah.
Whoa. Can
Yeah,
you take
95.
that? Is this like a trick? What's happening?
I think you can take. So let's say knight takes, knight, pawn takes. Then,
But then you have to move the knight?
yeah, because if you go bishop takes a1, white will throw in pawn takes knight, right?
Mm.
And then pick up the bishop. So knight would have
Oof.
to move. Um, but where to exactly? Let's
Hmm.
say d4, just to be hyperactive. Um,
That's me after some sugar. Then rook c1 and like queen b5.
Yeah, like first instinct is black looks pretty good here. Let's say rook c1 just to get off of the diagonal. And queen b5 definitely. Just hitting e2 seems
Mhm.
very reasonable. There could be bishop g4 as well. Could be some rook to c8. I feel like her position's pretty healthy, but let's just look at queen b5 because we have time and pawn is hanging. Okay, queen b5 is super annoying. If white has to go bishop f3 and give up the bishop for a knight,
Mhm.
then yeah, that's huge,
And
huge.
e3? No? Yes, no.
After queen b5,
Yes.
well then there's still knight e2 check,
92 check. Okay. Oh,
and
yes,
then
right. Of course.
we
I was
just get.
just testing. I don't know if you can hear that. That's my dog. That's my dog going crazy. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna mute myself
All
until the
right,
war is over.
no worries, no worries. So 94. I feel like white might have to deal with this queen b5 threat. Maybe like even a4 could be a move. Rook c1 maybe not right, but I mean it's just good to first start understanding the position. I mean we just started analyzing just now. So a4 maybe the second try. And then okay, black would have some questions with the knight, like with e3. So black would have to consider maybe bishop g4, maybe rook c8.
Oh, Petrosian followed the channel. Let's go.
Nice.
Should ask him about that game once upon a time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Old memories.
So A4 was on the board. I missed something.
Not not yet. Actually, let me see. Looks like Alex did take and white recaptured, and I think she's still
Mhm.
thinking about where to put the knight. So knight d4 hasn't been played yet. That was just kind of the first, because that's the move you would like to make, as long as the knight is safe. But okay, I was a little concerned about a4 just because it takes away the b5 square, but I think black has a lot of responses, like bishop h3, for example, bishop g4, rook c8. Seems like there's a lot of moves to deal with the threat of e3.
I was looking at ways to pile an attack on B3, actually, or go after the C file or something like that. So what about the infamous B5?
Um, yeah, b5 actually is playable. I'm only just noticing. Okay, Felix pointed this out in the chat, and I didn't understand. But actually, rook on a1 is hanging after a4. So black has discoveries. You got knight e2, knight takes b3. So
Ooh, that's cool.
a4 is not really a move. So, huh?
I was like, A4 just crushes all our dreams, and now you tell me it's not possible. So rook move would have to
I must have
happen
said it
then. Yeah.
so confidently. Here's the thing, Jesse. When you play high rated players, you do
Yeah.
not believe them right over the board.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Don't believe them.
I mean, trust that they are not going to do something like really, really stupid, but don't like fully believe them. Definitely, you always want to kind of play as if your
But it goes
opponent
against
might
the
be bad.
hierarchy of rating, because the higher you're rating, the more you're supposed to know what you're doing, right? So if I don't believe them, oh, is this just a trick you're supposed to play on your mind, maybe? Just be like, pretend you don't believe them to prove them wrong and then beat them.
I mean,
A lot of psychology. I think you need to write a book.
it's a lot of things. I think, sometimes, yeah, players do kind of, you do kind of defeat yourself. Like, it's a very classic thing, like, that one doesn't even look for tactics against high rated players because you just kind of assume nothing is ever going to work. And then
Yeah.
when a tactic does come up, you miss it because it's like you weren't looking for it. Um, so I think it's pretty
Interesting.
important to like you just keep it in mind that everyone's capable of blundering, and making
Okay.
mistakes.
I suppose on the other hand, you'd be like, my opponent does have 1.5. Something must have gone wrong. I'm gonna try and find that one thing that went wrong and repeat it. And yeah, like you said about the tactic, it's like, no, they wouldn't hang a pawn. If I take that pawn, something bad is gonna happen. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think you always want to like kind of, let's say, have like a consistent, or let's say you want to make all your moves based on the actual like board in the chess situation, right? So if you see that a pawn is hanging, you should take it unless you find like a chess reason not to take it. Oh, there's a trick, there's huge compensation, right? Um, or more so, if like pieces hanging, exchange, you know. But a lot of times we also just have to like, we just have to be ready, right? That the high rated player is going to give us a chance at some point.
I'm seeing two messages on opposite ends of the spectrum. Don't play the player, play the board. And then Maripant is like, I have too much respect for my opponent. So just have no respect for your opponent. I mean, there was one opponent that I had, and it's a local opponent. I'm pretty sure they don't watch the stream or anything, so they won't find me sort of pointing fingers. I won't mention names, but they pretty much just stand over the board. They make the move standing. They write their notation standing.
One of those.
They make like grunty noises all the time to throw you off.
Hmm.
It's uh, that's like real intimidation
Yeah.
and respect.
Yeah,
Makes
that's
me
not fun.
sad. Yeah. Not saying don't respect the opponent, but don't let them fool you. Okay, I understand.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's a balance. It's a balance. But you, I mean, you've played a ton of tournament chess, so you know what it's like. And you've played like the Olympiad, right? A couple times.
Yeah, Olympiad 3 times. Played Grand Swiss, which was probably my most brutal tournament. That was the toughest 11 rounds in my entire life.
Dang, Grand was
Nothing.
that was there like a
If I
women's Grand
wasn't humbled
Swiss?
before, I'm humbled now.
That's
Sorry, you were
great.
saying about?
Yeah, is was that like did they have like a women's Grand Swiss? Was that the event?
Yep. So women's Grand Swiss, the women's section, and that's where I played. I was the lowest ranked, so obviously going in, I had nothing to lose. But I went in actually losing my dignity too. No, no, I learned a lot. I ended up, well, it's an interesting story because I was on 0 out of 10
Dang.
and I had a lot of winning positions out of the games that I did play. I mean, everyone that I played obviously was higher rated than me. And by the time I got to the last game the night before, one of the arbiters or the organizers, they came up to me. I think she was part of the Fair Play Commission. She said to me, Jesse, you're about to make history. And I said, how so? What did I do? She said, no one has ever gone 11 rounds without, well, by scoring, 0 out of 11. And I took that and I went with it and it motivated me. And I think my last round opponent was Alina Bivol, international master.
You
And I
had
went
zero
up
out
like
of ten, and
two.
your opponent was Alina Baval. I am.
Yeah, in the last game, believe it or not.
Dude, that is a tough tournament, man.
Yeah, so then we played. I went up like 2 pawns. It was a Caro-Kann, and I was completely winning. It was a queen and pawn ending. And somehow we both went into time trouble, ended up blundering a lot and ended in a draw. And I saw her after the game and I was like, I have some news for you. I drew my game. I have a half a point out of 11. And she was like, I'm really proud of you. I said, thank you.
Man,
Yeah, that was the
that's
best pep talk. So probably without that pep talk and they say get mad and get even. That was the one thing that my coach always tried to do. He tried to make me mad before a game because he knew it would work. So
mm.
I, so yeah, everyone's different in that regard. But my little success story. What is the worst tournament performance you've ever had?
Yeah, I was just thinking about it. I remember starting, I think, like 0 out of 5 at like an IM norm round robin. So I wasn't like the lowest rated player, you know. I was maybe one of the lower rated, but not like the the punching bag or anything. But yeah, somehow I just got like 0 out of 5, and then I finished like 1.5 out of 9 in the end. I did get one win in the tournament in like a draw, but yeah, it's rough. I mean, yeah, you're questioning your entire existence, when you lose chess game after chess game.
Pretty much. Yeah.
It's it's wild. I mean, that's a tough experience. I hope you took some positive things away from it. I mean, you must have played like very good players every round. Like it's
Yeah, it was really tough. I mean, all my opponents were quite strong, and I think it was also the tournament that after every game I did a recap video and posted it on YouTube. So
oh,
then
brutal.
I think if you looked at all the videos together, you could like see my excitement just like deplete or like my energy just like go away
Yeah.
throughout the entire 11 games or
Yeah,
videos that I did.
I've been there. You're like, guys, I'm gonna do recaps for all my games, and you're like losing. It's like, all right, guys, here's, here's
Yeah,
the
what's the
game.
last game sitting with your hoodie on and you're like, it's the end of the tournament. I'm never playing another game of chess again.
That last video must have been nice. So, did you enjoy the last video or?
Yeah, there was blood on the wall. No, it was great. I think the last video I was talking about my chances, but I think it felt like a loss given how like excited I was during that game and felt like I was actually going to,
Right.
achieve that win finally. But yeah, it's okay. We all have those moments, and it feels like you're never gonna get over it, but you do eventually.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Um, I mean, it's kind of nice knowing like you've had. That will probably. I usually say like your worst tournament is always ahead of you, but that could very well just be your worst tournament, just from the not in terms of your chess, just in terms of the score. Because it sounds like, I mean, if you're getting winning positions, you're probably playing reasonably well. It's just very hard. I mean, chess is such a fighting game, and nothing is decided when you have a winning position. You still have to like, sometimes you have to work just as hard to put it away.
No, that's true. Yeah. Man, these pep talks and talking about it is just bringing back all the feels and memories. Oh no. Crazy to think that that was 2 years ago. I mean, time flies. How did you spend the COVID period, by the way?
Hmm. Um, let's see. So yeah, actually, it's kind of a funny story. When the pandemic was starting, you know, basically me, David, and Jesse were already talking about like teaming up and doing a channel, and then everyone got sent home in March 2020. And I was streaming like a little bit, like Chess Dojo. We already had like a Discord, very like small Discord server. We had like a Twitch channel, but essentially it wasn't like a big thing. But David, Jesse, and I, we wanted to team up, Jesse Cry, and then the plan was to start streaming in June of that year. But then when everyone got sent home because of the pandemic, we were like, oh, we should just start up now. And then there was the candidates tournament, the infamous one that got split into two, and so we started doing like recaps of that and some content, and yeah, we just went with Dojo. We were just
Oh
Dojo from
wow.
then on.
That's amazing. Yeah, we're still trying to decide who's the original and OG Jesse. I think we have to be put into like a cage match or something to fight it out. The who decide who Jesse 1.0 and 2.0 is. Um
Yeah, he's been around for a while, but there's no shame in being Jesse 2.0. 2.0 is better.
2.0. Yeah. No, it's you see, I want to be the OG, so maybe I should just give it to him. Maybe we should just give up chat. I think we'll give Jesse Cry 1.0.
I mean, I don't know. You
2.0
can
is the improved version. Okay, you make a point. Make a very strong point.
You'll always be Jesse February.
That's true. Yeah, as long as Jesse Cry was not born in February, then I think we're good.
Yeah, yeah, he doesn't. Actually, don't know when his birthday is. I think it's like April. Be
Okay,
funny if he
that's
started
good.
going by Jesse April.
OG is based on age, right? Well, Maripan, I think OG stands for original gangster, and that's something on its own. So we'll see. I don't know if we can categorize Jesse Cry as a gangster. I'm like more gangster.
Oh, you're the gangster? Is the
Yeah, I've got the gangster signs and everything.
wow? I'm learning a lot.
Oh, wait. Were moves made? Okay, no, I'm just seeing it on my side.
uh, yeah, we got 95 on the board, and now
Oh, knight e5 played. Okay.
White is thinking here. Um, yeah, so 95 also I think is very logical. Like the knight is definitely very strong on e5, and now black has perhaps some ideas against the rook on a1. Um,
Hmm.
but I think probably she still wants to go bishop h3 at some point. I guess, or at
Okay.
least that's my feeling.
Is there any way to attack? So to go something like bishop h3, capture, and then get the knight and queen involved. Maybe there's not enough. Should you start with a move like h5?
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, makes sense to play on the king side for sure. So I would go bishop h3 soon, and then you can wait. Yeah, you don't have to necessarily take on g2 right away. Then you can throw in h5 and just kind of put a
mhm,
little more pressure. Maybe h4. Um, it doesn't seem like there's like a huge attack here for black, but I feel like black is a very, very, very comfortable position. Like bishop on g7 is nice. Black can fight for the c file very easily,
mhm,
and it's not even. Here it's not 100% clear that we actually do want to trade these bishops because our bishop can be quite useful on the queen side, whereas white's bishop is just gonna kind of stuck on this d pawn. Um, so,
mhm.
oh, question about f4. So yeah, f4 is a move, very very aggressive move that white could try. I think black would have to play knight g4 in response, and then the question was about e4. Oh boy. So this would be a lot
Is
of
that losing?
a lot of stuff to calculate. Sorry, what'd you ask?
Oh, I was asking, is it losing if you play this line that Felix was suggesting, kind of?
Yeah. Um, hmm. It's
So let's see,
definitely a question.
f4, knight g4, e4. Hmm.
It's definitely a question.
Ooh,
Honestly, not
spicy.
seeing the
I'm thinking
plan here
about
for
this.
Alex. Yeah, it's concerning because bishop on f5 is trapped. So we can throw bishop d4 check. We can win the exchange. We can play bishop d4 check and then win the exchange with knight f2. But however we win the exchange, white is always taking our bishop on f5 at the end and getting two
Mhm.
pieces, right? So, hmm, do we get out of this?
Probably have to take on a1, but
Let's say
then
bishop
even after
a1. Mm-hmm.
queen takes, it's difficult.
Yeah, and f4 played pretty confidently too. I don't like how confident that move was played.
Are you looking at his posture?
Yeah, yeah, just it was like a very, very clear motion. No hesitation in the move.
Uh-huh.
Now
I
he's like,
hate that arrogance over the board. Oh, we saw Alex's hand hover a
yeah,
little
she
bit over
is.
there.
She is reaching. She plays knight g4. I mean, I think there's no
Ooh.
there's no options. So I'm glad she played this one pretty quickly.
Okay, save some time on the clock. because I think she's down 20 minutes right now.
Yeah. Actually, it's not so bad. The clocks are on the delay, but on the live board, she has 44 minutes and he's got 53.
Okay. Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah. Felix says she didn't play knight d4 because it's trapped after e3. But knight d4 e3, we still had the b5 square. So that was kind of the idea there.
Mhm.
So 95 looked fine, but this f4 e4 is very concerning. Like it might just be straight up bad for black, which would not be great. Because it's a very easy thing to miss. Like you play knight g4, you're hitting the rook on a1. You expect white to have to move it,
Yeah.
and then, well, actually, just the fact that he played f4 is already like, it's a huge alarm, right? Because after knight g4, if he doesn't go e4, he's just losing the exchange because there's bishop d4 check, bishop takes a1. So he does play e4, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna ask about that. So yeah, then can maybe black get at least a rook and a pawn for the two minor pieces? But then it means you'd have to give up. Maybe not. You can give up the knight. You can play like knight takes h2.
Um, okay, yeah,
So
I think
after
I get what you're saying. Yeah, so bishop a1, right? And then queen
bishop
a1.
a1, queen a1, and then knight h2 maybe.
H2, right. Let's just say king takes, and then we get bishop g4. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's like in these middle games, the two pieces are going to be really strong, especially the dark squared bishop. It's going to be a very difficult piece to deal with for black. So yeah, I'm worried. I'm worried. I'm really trying hard to find a solution, but it's
Yeah,
not
even with
easy.
the long diagonal, the queen is controlling because the bishop would be gone. And her opponent is sort of like looking off to the side now.
Oh yeah, he's done. He's like, he found this combination, and now she's gonna have to spend some time figuring out.
It's like the equivalent of like Gary Kasparov putting his watch back on or Hikaru putting his jacket back on.
Right. The
But
signal
it's
that
not over yet.
it's like, all right, time to pack it up. Yeah, this is the other thing. Like, where it's very important not to trust strong players because a lot of times, if it looks like they have you under pressure, they're gonna kind of give you this like posture, like, okay, time to resign. Maybe we can look at the game or whatever. But it might not be over. You might still have a resource. They might still mess it up. All kinds of things might still happen. So you have to resist that urge. Yeah, and still in terms of the move though, I think this 95 might have just been a blunder though. If black doesn't have anything here.
This is the one thing I missed about being at home is the delivery of a cup of coffee whenever I get really cold.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, usually having to make my own coffee when I'm in Cape Town. So this is cool. Being home. It's obviously my dog who made the coffee for me.
Oh,
Coda. Yeah.
what a good boy.
Indeed. But it would have been really cool. I actually want to see what the evaluation bar would have done because I have the evaluation bar. I'm good enough to not have the actual evaluation with the lines and so on. But I have the evaluation bar just in case I miss something crazy. But
Hmm.
I didn't know there was a delay. So obviously we have the delay. But I'm looking at that 94 that we were looking at beforehand
Mm-hmm.
instead of 95, just to see if it's maybe even slightly better for black. And it just seems equal. What would... Oh, the recommended move is e4 in that position.
After knight d4.
Knight e4, e4.
Huh. Yeah, that's surprising. E4, and it thinks white is like better, much better.
Equal, actually.
So it thinks knight e5 is also equal.
95, I think not. Let's
Oh,
see.
yeah.
95. Oh, 95? Um, well, initially when I looked at it, it was better for white, but now it seems fine. Let's see what happens. 95, f4. Yeah, it was +1.
Yeah,
I
that's not
think
good.
maybe I'm wrong.
Hmm.
Chat can help out in that regard. I can't trust chess.com's engine.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, +1, that definitely feels right though, from like human point of view.
Yeah,
But
now it
it's
goes +2
but yeah,
after 94.
it's not a fun +1, +2, because yeah, the two pieces are gonna be painful.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. Yeah, she must have missed this e4 idea. Um, which would it happens. It happens. This would have been a moment to like to spend more time, but you never know during the game. Like, oh, should I be spending more time right now, less time? So
Hmm.
yeah, this was definitely
That's
the
true. I
moment.
think the one thing that I struggle with the most is identifying a critical moment. Maybe I'm spending 2 minutes on what is a critical moment, and I should be spending 20 minutes, and I'm making a quick decision when it's not supposed to be a quick decision, and I just wouldn't understand it properly. But now
Yeah,
I'm sort of taking my time to figure out what is necessary to evaluate, because when there's a capture or a pawn push, apparently you're meant to reevaluate the position.
it's interesting. Uh, yeah, I don't. I mean, I guess those rules are kind of helpful. Oh, Alex played bishop d4 check. Okay. Probably going to see king h1 played.
Ooh.
And I guess maybe she wants to win the exchange for her knight with knight f2 and keep her dark squared
Mm.
bishop on the board.
At least you still get a pawn because after pawn takes f5, your queen can take.
Yeah. So she'll get one pawn for it. Then it'll be up to white to kind of prove that his two pieces are stronger than the rook. Definitely still some fighting chance for black here. I would say this is not like not a trivial conversion by any means.
See a check, give a check.
Knight f2 played. And rook takes, bishop takes. It's gonna happen unless there's a move after rook takes. Oh, hold on.
What is there?
Hold on, Jesse. There's bishop g4. Ah, but rook
Ooh.
f3. Dang. Still,
Uh,
he saved the rook. But it's good that she
Dodge.
paused it. Wait, but rook on a1 still hanging. All right, one sec. There's actually some.
But there's bishop g4. I mean, you're already a piece down. So bishop g4, rook f3, bishop f3, bishop f3.
Yeah, but then we have bishop a1 as well. So at least we get two rooks for three pieces, which, okay, we're also
Mm.
work. We can talk about, but
Portugal,
definitely,
Portugal. That's
definitely
cool.
worse.
That could.
Yeah, I think bishop g4, bishop f3 actually is the issue.
Oh, bishop f. Uh, right.
Which is
You're right.
not super obvious, but once you see it, yeah, here I think white does just gets the two pieces that they wanted. But good on her to pause. That's very instructive because most players I think just pre-move bishop takes f2, which people that were watching the stream probably saw my mouse, just like making this move. But it's always good to pause if you think there's a second option because you might be right, and there might even be a third option like you're not even seeing.
Mhm.
You never know.
Tactinos, as James Canty would say.
Yeah, Tactino's over everything.
Tactinos. Yeah, I was in Dubai with him,
Oh right.
commentating the Global Chess League, and I think he actually ended up. We went to the mall the one day, a few of us, and he ended up trading in his calculation over everything, chain for some other accessories. I
Wow.
don't know if he's shown you guys on stream yet what he got, but yeah, now it's just CEO. So now he is the CEO of his brand. I don't know. But it's amazing how he rocks his merch as well. So he has everything. He has the shorts, the shoes, the bag, the shirt, the cap, the everything. Just
Yeah.
COE. Yeah.
Huge on the
I had no
merch. We
idea.
need to learn from him in terms of the merch. Yeah, because we got some merch lately, but yeah, I mean, his is just different level. Did he really trade in his stuff? Like he bartered in Dubai?
I think he did.
That's
Well,
so
I don't
funny.
know about the word barter, but he definitely traded in to get some other stuff and to lower the price of, yeah, well, I guess then it is. But I saw you have a hoodie on the wall. Is that correct?
Oh, that's right. Yes, this is I guess yeah, people can't see the full thing. This is our old design. We have a new design now that's like a karate uniform with a little
Oh,
chessboard. It was a whole thing. It was a whole drama in our community. You know, not everyone loved the new logo. Some did. Some really appreciated it. Not everyone did. But
now I have to Google the new logo.
yeah,
I
we
have to see what it looks like.
recently switched it up.
So you say there was drama?
There was drama. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We didn't mention, but Jesse, you have a history with the dojo. You were on the first season of Ultimate Sensei back in the
I
day.
was, yeah. I was hoping for a callback. Never got one. Yeah, I never got my redemption, unfortunately. I'm hoping to at some stage. I was going to mention that Ultimate Sensei to put it on record. I
Yes.
wanted my redemption. It's really cool.
Yeah, it was super fun to have you there and Rebecca as well. That was a great show. I really enjoyed um, that whole thing. Yep, with Eugene. Eugene was your coach for that one.
Ooh, that was a dream come true. Eugene Perelstein. That was cool. How many seasons have you had so far?
We did a second season after like a year,
Hmm.
and season three is still in the works. Still in the
Okay.
works.
Well, consider me for season three. I still haven't reached that, 2000. So,
Okay. Would you have any interest in like being a coach? Because I think our next season might be like the 1,000 to 1,200 range.
oh, wow. I would love to be a coach. I'm very competitive in that sense. And if it means that my students get to beat someone else's students, I'm good to go. I'm ready.
Oh,
Yes.
interesting. Okay, let's talk about that because we had some interest. From Tata was interested in maybe being a coach. Katerina Nemtsova had some interest, so that'd be really cool. Um,
Yeah. Well,
Ultimate Sensei
consider
was
me.
I absolutely. I'll keep you in mind. It was this show we did on this channel. You can find old vids of it on YouTube. It was like a chess reality show. I would say it was like a very serious version of uh, like PogChamps. Like we had a bunch of students, we had coaches. They worked with the coaches, and we had like a 2 month thing. And in the final, all the students played this big knockout. And actually, well, maybe you could talk about your experience. I mean, did you feel like it was helpful for your chess?
Definitely. I took the lessons really seriously. So we streamed the lessons. Eugene Perelstein um, sort of coached us on stream and we worked on different aspects. I think it was playing and tactics and puzzles and like ways of problem solving and stuff like that. when it came to calculating. And then we had the actual competition, which was more stressful than playing a FIDE rated game. I don't know why, but there was the puzzles portion, and I think
That's funny.
you went like head to head with someone else, doing puzzles. And then there
Right.
was also playing some games. So I loved the variety of things that we had to do. I really enjoyed that.
Nice.
Yeah, we should add memes to the mix, I think, next time as well. I'm joking. But
Yeah,
I
you
loved
crushed
it.
that.
Yeah.
No, that's great. That's awesome to hear. Yeah, it was
And
a fun time. I remember, yeah, seeing all the different lessons. It was very stressful. There was a lot of hype, and
mhm.
I think kind of rightly so, because it got everyone to like work really hard and prep, for the finals. And I feel like, I
Yeah.
mean, the difference between seeing you guys play in yeah, like the initial tournament and then the final tournament was yeah, night and day. Like all you guys, I thought improved tremendously.
Hmm, that's cool. I like hearing that. But I feel like consistency is so important because you can take that improvement and just lose it in one swift motion. Because I haven't touched chess in like a month and a half, and I feel like all that work that I did earlier in the year is just gone, absolutely gone. Do
Yeah.
you find that consistency is key, or do you think that once you learn it, you don't really forget it?
Consistency definitely important. I would imagine it's not totally wasted the work you did earlier if it was like, like if you're training a lot and stuff. But yeah, if you take time off, it always does hurt a little bit. At least it hurts your form more than anything. I feel like all the stuff you really know well will stick with you and your instincts and all that stuff. So
Mm.
you just got to get back into it. Um, are you having a lot of like I know you're in Dubai and traveling, but now are you like back and having more time to study, or what's your overall? I'm
Yeah,
just curious. Like, are
so
you streaming a lot, or what's your plan?
I'm trying to get back to streaming. So we have something called load shedding in South Africa, which is scheduled power outages, and sometimes there's like a last minute change to the schedule, or we lose power when we're not supposed to, or we have power when we're supposed to have a power outages. So it's honestly, I don't see the point in the schedule anyway. But it kind of messes with things while I'm in my hometown because we don't have an inverter system. When I was in my apartment, I did, so I could stream during load shedding hours, and our new place is well equipped with all the like power sources and stuff like that. So it won't be an issue like a month down the line. But yeah, I'm hoping to get back to streaming more regularly now that I'm here. And I'm just busy with the big pack and the big move because I'm moving everything to Cape Town.
Right.
So a mixture of packing, a mixture of like filming stuff, editing stuff for YouTube and streaming, and also some admin things here and there. So I'm trying to keep busy. I'm also not having like a ton of time for myself, but enjoying every second since I got back. And
Cool.
about working on chess, maybe I can use streaming as an excuse to get back to studying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, that's the ideal, especially when you're busy. But like, yeah, if you know you're gonna do a stream, unless you at least you can get some chess in. Moving, I mean, it's a huge endeavor. I always struggle to like really work on chess if something big is happening. Like, yeah, I moved last December and it took like several weeks, and yeah, I felt like I couldn't really do any chess during like anything serious. Maybe I was
Mhm.
following some like tournaments or like watching commentary or something, but yeah,
Mm.
in terms of like doing my own work, it was basically impossible. What I always suggest is like if you have some kind of big like life situation, then it's very hard to just mentally to have your brain scattered all over the place. So I would just like take a break and then come back to chess when you're like you've settled in and like okay, now you're ready to study consistently every day, like study the same book, same course, whatever.
Mm.
Um,
A
because yeah, if you
guilt-free pause.
right.
What's that?
Otherwise, you're like just trying to like cram it in every once in a while, and then it's
Yeah.
just you're doing random like blitz and tactics, and probably none of it is super helpful other than just in the immediate short term. But that's not really what you're interested in. Like you're interested in like long term improvement.
Yeah. No, actually, I have a big question then because I have a tournament a week after move in and settle down. So maybe I don't actually have time to like switch my brain off or pause for a moment, and I should be working on my chess and feel hella guilty for not doing it.
Shoot.
Then what should I do in that like final week if I want to just get my brain ready for it?
Yeah, so if you're definitely gonna play, you only got a week to warm up. Best thing is to play some OTB. Actually, it's been a running meme on these streams. Somehow every day, at some point, I go into a rant about. I guess this is it. About how like the best way to practice for OTB is to just do the thing that you're practicing. Much like the best way to practice anything is to just do the thing that you're getting ready. Like if you're learning an instrument, the best thing to do would be to just play that instrument. And if you're learning how to play tennis or how to play soccer, the best thing to do would be to just practice those games by
Mhm.
playing, So get a board, a clock,
Hmm.
someone to play against.
Unfortunately, I don't live in a town
I
where
know it's
there's like a
always.
chess player next door. So I should play both sides of the board, like that video of the old guy playing in the park all alone. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could do other stuff. You could solve puzzles OTB or play through games.
Hmm.
There is a way to play OTB actually. Like you set up a Zoom call, like we have, and then you guys both have your own OTB, and then you're
Okay.
you're both playing OTB, and you can kind of see each other on camera. So it's like it's a little more relatable to like an actual tournament.
That's a great idea. So I need a checklist. Okay. Have a board, right? Have a Zoom call.
Number
Have
one.
friends. Yeah, sounds good. No, that's awesome. Kostya moves to St. Louis and expects everyone to have chess neighbors like him.
Yeah, doesn't everyone live next to like 8 titled players?
Easy to say. Yeah. Oh, I suppose I'll be living closer to Rebecca. She'll be an hour away or something like that now instead of 10 hours.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
way closer. Yeah, in fact.
definitely.
Um, well, yeah, I'll tell you.
But
I feel like the times that I improved the most were when I was like working with a training partner like regularly, and we're
mhm.
just doing puzzles together, looking at games together, playing. You're testing out a new opening. It's very helpful to play like 20 games in one line just to get some experience. Um,
Mhm.
yeah,
Got to get those XP points.
for sure.
Wait, is this the current position, Queen F5?
Queen takes f5 played, and I think Queen e2 is on the
Mm,
board.
okay,
So,
Queen E2.
yeah.
So bishop back
Hmm.
to D4 maybe?
I like bishop d4. I feel like that's the first instinct move because we really need to control this long diagonal and maybe park that bishop on f6 eventually.
Do you think White will try to exchange pieces here with like Rook C1, Bishop C3?
That
What
would
is
definitely
White's?
be on my mind. Yeah, if I'm white, like I definitely want to fight for the c file, and then it would be really nice to trade off the bishops. There will be like some questions on the c file. Like black will put a rook on c8 and start harassing white's rook.
Mm. Oh,
So
and the background for White, I guess, as well.
yeah. So it's really not easy for white here. I think he has to be quite precise to make the most out of his advantage. In general, you want to
Mm.
keep the rook. When you're playing with the two pieces, you only have one rook left. You do want to hold
Mhm.
on to it. Um, so, so that's the thing. If he plays rook c1, it looks good for a moment, but then when black plays rook c8, white will not want to trade those rooks. So he'll have to figure something out.
Oh, I thought that maybe White would want to trade at least one rook. So that's not the plan then. To keep.
Yeah,
Mm,
trading queens, maybe trading minor pieces, but as a rule of thumb, when you're playing like two pieces versus the rook, and
mhm.
you are the side with the two pieces, you want to keep your your rook.
Oh, I
Yeah.
did not know that.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah,
Need to make notes.
you should really store that one. Yeah, everyone should. Everyone should.
Write it
'Cause-
down first.
yeah, because you want different types of soldiers. You want the infantry, you want snipers, you want doctors, right? You want different kinds of pieces on the board. If you trade off the rook, then black is the only one with super fast cheetah, let's call it, and then white's pieces have a harder time dealing with it.
I need to know what kind of games you play. Doctors, yeah, I have the same question.
What, what do you mean? No healers?
I mean, you're mentioning like snipers and stuff, and I'm like, okay, maybe you play like Valorant or Fortnite.
That's funny. No, I guess I was just thinking in general
Uh-huh.
terms. What games
Do you play any other games?
do I play? I grew up playing Grand Theft Auto. That was maybe my formative
Oh,
game. So most of my philosophy and thoughts on the world come from Grand Theft Auto.
that's a problem. I mean, that's great.
Is that problematic?
We're like,
um,
oh, here we go again.
oh
Yeah.
man, that's recent GTA too. Yeah, wow, that's funny.
Okay.
I
I see
remember.
too many memes. I got GTA 5 when it came out, because it was free on Epic Games and
Oh,
just never played it because I was just never got into it. And then I
mm,
heard there was like multiplayer
mm.
and yeah, just I only ever watched streams and saw videos.
Oh, that's funny.
Scared me way too much. Were you one of those who like pull people out of their own cars?
That was a function. Yeah, that was a key part of the game. That's like asking if, in Pac-Man, did you eat the fruit with the ghost? It's like, yeah, that's like the whole point of like that's your enter key. Like that's what enter does when you play the game. It's like you pull someone out of the car.
Yeah.
A very very
Oh,
very
my
core
chat Kostya
functionality.
probably plays FPS chess. That was something that Ludwig sort of made popular again, I guess, when it came out. It didn't have high numbers, and
Oh,
I think he
interesting.
played it on stream,
I
and then
never
it came
tried
back.
it. Is it fun? Did you play it?
I played it on stream once or
Oh,
twice, or
oh,
just
cool.
once maybe, and you do, depending on the piece that you're moving. If there is a capture, there is a small chance. So if a pawn is taking a pawn, you both get the same weapon. If a pawn is trying to take a queen, then it'll be a pawn with their like pistol and the queen with their like machine gun. And you literally fight and you can run around the room
Wow.
trying to fight. Yeah, it's great.
Oh, so you play like an FPS kind of thing, like
Yeah,
whenever there's
with
like a
every
capture.
capture. Hmm.
Ah, interesting, interesting. Okay, Rook
Yeah.
D1, Rook E8 on the board. Just to update you folks. Yeah,
Okay.
Black does have to keep an eye on this E pawn. Personally, I would have just put the bishop on F6 because I feel like our bishop on D4 is a little bit loose, but maybe not a huge deal for the moment.
Right. And I see that white definitely has this rule of thumb in mind because he put the rook on the d file instead of the c file, which would have been contested by black and still will be, I'm sure.
Right, right. Yeah, he's kind of was anticipating this one and just goes rook d1 right away. So, yeah, that feels smart. Now black can put a rook on c8 and probably should, but then it'll be hard to get in as a lot of the squares are covered.
I was going to ask, would white want to try and keep the knight there? Although the knight does look kind of passive, it's doing a lot in covering those important squares like c2.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely probably one of the biggest questions here for white is what to do with this knight because you would 100% like to move it out, but as soon as you do that, rook shows up on c2. So I imagine he is going to be a little bit more careful. Maybe make some other moves, like maybe bishop e4 can throw in, and then think about moving the knight
Mm,
after that. Queen d3 might also be played just to offer the endgame. So yeah, tough situation I think for Alex because in general, like playing rook against two pieces, your rook needs targets. It needs to be
Mm,
active. If the pieces all kind of find solid squares, it's like they can outplay the rook very very easily. So it's tough. It's tough.
I see. Queen d3. I'm the captain now. But then will Black accept this exchange or play Queen g4 maybe?
Let's
No,
see.
but Queen g4 and like Bishop f3.
Exactly. Yeah, it runs into that. Feels like Black would probably have to just accept the trade. Um, so I guess it's a question of whether White wants it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not an obvious question because a lot of times with the two pieces, it makes sense to keep the queens on the board because the two pieces are going to be quite good in the middle game. They can be used for a kingside attack. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if White just goes bishop e4 and then maybe puts the knight on d3 and then starts pushing like f5 and just looking to push on the king side. I think that that feels also very very reasonable to me here.
Mm. Oh, there's a question. Does White, sorry, does White want to play something like g4, Bishop e4,
Mm.
and f5?
Yeah, that would very much be connected with this kind of plan. Yeah, you could maybe start with g4 too, and push on the king side, with the g pawn.
Mm.
Yeah, it's gonna be scary for black, for sure. Jesse, let me take a quick break if you don't mind. I'll leave it on the
I
live
promise really nice
position.
things about you.
Yeah, you can talk. Have you streamed before? You can talk.
I'm very new to it, so I'm hoping that everyone will be very kind and helping me out. So
Good.
I'll be fine, I'm sure.
Yeah, please be nice to Jessie, especially on her own channel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Right.
I'll see you in a sec.
Okay. Hi guys, my name's Jessie. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a content creator from South Africa. I know we're live on Alex's channel and chessdojolive and my channel. For those of you who haven't seen, I'm Jessie_Feb. I'm seeing all the followers coming through on Alex's channel. Hello, everyone. Alex is busy playing an OTB right now in I hope I get this right. Valencia, in Spain. I should have probably just skipped on the city and just went straight to the country. In Spain, if you guys can see really closely, we can spot Anna Maya there sitting right next to her. It's the content table. We also saw Pepe walking by. I saw Florencia is also playing, which is really cool. I think she was doing some content with Chess 24 way back when. I have all the chats up, so hello guys. So Dexter, thanks for giving the shout out in the chat over there as well. We spent a night in a bar in Paris virtually. Oh, cool. Sounds cozy. Deluke, thank you so much for the follow. Thanks for the follows this stream, guys. We're waiting for Kostya to come back. I think this is actually the first time I'm co-commentating with Kostya. We have done things like chess talks before when co-chess was still a thing. Then there was Jessie Cry, myself, there was Kitty, there was Raluca and Kostya. Hannah says is playing. Hannah is playing. Yes, and we see Alexandra is putting on her brave face and sitting up straight over there. Always find that the way you sit your posture at the board says a lot about how you feel about your position. And sometimes I forget that. I mean, we get so focused on the game that you just forget completely how you're sitting or how you're acting, and your true colors can show. And if you feel like really confident in your position, you'll happen to like look around and stretch a little bit. I mean, this is the move that like Levon Aronian does a lot. And while I was commentating at the Global Chess League, we found that another tactic that maybe just subconsciously happens with the chess players. They take a sip of water. I need to watch that. Kostya doesn't come back catching me like telling stories like this. Okay, takes a sip of water when they feel like they're in a good position or winning. Yeah. Is SPF or FPS rather skill or chess skill more important? In that game, I feel like FPS is more important. You're the opposite. You take a sip of water when you think you're losing. No, get with the program. Yeah. I don't know if you guys know if any other streamers are playing. Is Lile playing? Yeah. I wish I got invited to tournaments like that. It seems so cool. I want to play. But getting a Schengen visa, it's just so tough. And I've been looking for a tournament to play in September. I don't know if you guys know of any tournaments, but I think I've pretty much decided that I won't play anything. Um, I look around the room, take a sip of water when I think I'm losing to calm myself down before going back to calculations. Well, don't say that out loud. People are going to find out. Yeah. Fresh look, as they say. Right, new perspective. I find that taking a walk actually distracts me from the position. If it's a super critical position, I should be at the board focusing rather than, taking a walk. I'm going to forget what I was thinking about, come back and realize, oh no, I've completely forgotten my train of thought. Oh, hi, Mish. How's it going? Stopping in again to say hi before going back to make dins. Or going to make dins. I should learn how to read properly. Thank you so much for stopping in. That's really cool of you. There must be something happening in St. Louis. Yes, Kostya went to go and say hi to his neighbor, Eric Rosen, and then he's coming back to tell us all the information and good news and gossips about the town. Definitely what's happening. And the table does a flip if you think you're losing. Yeah, if you think you're losing, just take the entire table. This is a very important tip if you want to become a grandmaster. Take the entire table and just flip it. And then you gain like 200 elo because all the pieces go everywhere and no one actually remembers the position. And then you don't lose a game ever. Ever. Because DGTs just don't exist. Will I be streaming after the game? I want to. I want to stream chess played quick. I don't know if I'll have time though, because my power goes out at 10 p.m. my time. So if this game ends in the next 40 minutes and an arena starts in the next 40 minutes, then maybe. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to rethink that. Maybe. I want to. I want to very much. I want to play an arena. Am I a GM? I'm a woman international master from South Africa, also woman grandmaster elect, meaning I would need a 2,100 rating FIDE to claim my direct title after winning the Continental 2 years ago. Why am I losing power? Because the kryptonite is too strong. Then we have something called load shedding, and that just like takes away our power for like 2 hours at a time, which isn't great. So maybe you'll catch me live at midnight, my time. Central European. Blackouts are horrible. Horrible. Imagine losing up to like 8 hours of your power for a day. It's horrible. Oh, wait, shh, guys, he's back. Shh.
Oh,
Hi, welcome
hey,
back.
what's up? How's it
We're
going?
definitely not talking about you. Yeah.
Okay. it's, it's good to hear. Good thing it's not being recorded in three places.
No, of course. I just told everyone to delete the VODs so it's not accessible.
Great. Great. Sounds like
Yeah, South African time and Central European right now before daylight savings is all the same time. South Africa doesn't have daylight savings, so we have to change according to you guys. We just stay the same. We're normal people, you know.
Wow.
Who in their right minds changes their clock? I mean,
Your clocks just
I'm
stay the
just,
same, huh, all year.
yeah, we
It's
don't
wild.
change at all.
And then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, now it's 8 a.m. for the Americans instead of 7 a.m.
Exactly. It's completely normal. Yeah, we're the normal ones. What? Who's going to save your daylight? Sleep saves daylight. What do you mean? Changing the clock is cooler? Weren't you going to do away with it at some stage, or was Europe going to do that? I can't even remember.
Yeah, sometimes we vote on it, but it's like, it's hard to get changed through. I mean, yikes.
Hmm.
I feel like we're just kind of stuck. If we voted again, if we took it off, people would be so confused.
What do you mean so confused? Nothing would change then.
Yeah, I guess we'd get used to it over time. It's just you expect it to change. You know, you got the
Oh,
fall, you got the spring forward, the fall back. You know, spring you 1 hour ahead, fall 1 hour back. I guess, yeah, I guess it's one of those things. You know, American kids, they grow up pledging allegiance to the flag. Like they have us recite this thing every morning, like this like spiel.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic to which it stands, something, something, something,
One
something else.
nation under God, yeah, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all. Yeah, exactly. Even you know it. Even you know it. It's
Cool.
amazing.
I watch a lot of television.
Yeah, yeah. The
A
indoctrination
lot of American television, yeah.
was wild. Um, yeah, I always thought that was kind of silly. Do they do that in South Africa? Something similar? I don't know. Did you go to public school?
We
How
have
did
a
that work?
national anthem.
Uh huh. Sure.
Yeah, but
But
it has like a bunch of different languages within one song.
and you weren't forced to like sing it all the time, right? Or were you?
I mean, we were in like school and stuff like that. Yeah,
Oh, I
we
see.
had to do that.
We never had to do any singing. Well, like how often would you? Not every day.
No, no, we didn't have to sing it every week. No, like once a year or
Ah,
twice a year kind of vibes. Yeah,
okay.
wasn't
That's
too
yeah.
bad. We had to learn how to pronounce some of the words, which are very difficult.
Oh, I see. Yeah, the different languages that might I could see how that might trip you up. Do you speak other languages?
I do. I speak Afrikaans
Oh, cool.
and I studied Xhosa in school for 9 years, which is one of the South African languages.
Mm-hmm.
So I know like basic, you know, grammar and greetings and stuff like that. But very useless things. I could pick up some things in conversation and stuff. But yeah, my entire family is Afrikaans. So I'm fluent in Afrikaans. So Afrikaans and English, and then it helps. So for instance, last year I went to TwitchCon. It was
Mm-hmm.
my first time in the Netherlands, and I understood a lot of the signs and stuff. You could just read it because it's very similar to Afrikaans.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Oh, I didn't know that. Was that your first
Dutch.
language or was English your first?
English is my first language, and
Gotcha.
it may not seem so because of how scuffed my vocab is sometimes. But yeah, it is. And then I just claim that Afrikaans is when I stumble over my words. Yeah.
No, no, you've got good English.
What about you?
My first language was Russian, actually. We grew up speaking Russian in the home, but then I went to school in California, so English definitely took over pretty quickly after
Hmm.
this. Now I'm definitely much more comfortable with English, and I can definitely carry like a conversation in Russian, but I get way, way less practice, of course.
Okay, so like привет, как дела?
Yeah, two of my favorites.
Uh, yeah, I пожалуйста,
Пожалуйста, sure.
пожалуйста.
Yeah, yeah, very good.
Thank you. Спасибо. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah. I'm like so fluent. 5 words in my vocab. Yeah.
Brilliant. Looks
Back
like
in,
we got
yeah.
G4 on the board.
Oh, it happened.
Yeah.
G4 happened. That is a sign of confidence right there.
That's a big move. That's a big move, and I'm wondering if the plan is to just like even push f5 soon.
Do you think we'll see this bishop e4 idea? Oh,
Um,
it's not even necessary.
yeah, it's hard to say. I think after queen d7, bishop e4 to me looks very reasonable, but I could also see white just maybe wanting to play f5 and opening up the attack against h6. It might be kind of a sharp. It's a very sharp continuation, but it also feels quite logical. Queen f6 play.
Hmm.
Okay,
Ooh.
that makes sense. Defending the bishop. Now I think f5 is less likely with the queen on f6. But what I don't love is that it kind of hinders the bishop a bit. So now, like, for example, if white were to play knight f3, it's not clear where black's bishop is going to go.
Hmm. Yeah, I was looking at knight f3. Would the bishop then go back on the other diagonal, like b6 or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah, might have to. And then, okay, still a position, but white maybe continues to make progress. I would certainly look at bishop e3, just offering the trade of bishops.
Hmm.
Um, and
Oh, okay. I see this trying to get rid of the minor pieces that black has, and then using the power of the minor pieces against the rook. Ooh,
yeah.
have movement.
Oh, what's
What
happened?
happened?
Oh, knight f3, I think, on the board.
Oh, knight f3. Okay, I see. They are looking at what we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, they can see my screen as well, so
I knew it.
they have that option. Yeah, yeah. But a tournament's very streamer friendly, so they're fine with it. They're cool.
Yeah, at least. Yeah, it's crazy to think that they have a delay on the DGTs, but then I suppose when it comes to the stream, we can see them live. But I understand, of course, with the measures that they're taking. It's important. I actually would love to see the players list. Let me take a look. I think it's on chess results.
Oh, yeah, let me put the
Let's
link to the
see.
game for the chat as well.
Let's see if we can spot any like big names. Um, so I can see Pepe, Mr. Ratata,
Oh man, what a legend.
Daniel Garcia. Is he a creator at all or a coach?
Wait, Daniel, what was it?
Garcia?
Garcia. I'm not sure I know him.
Hmm. Looks familiar. Ooh, Alexis Strikovic is also playing. So he was the coach of the South African female team at the Olympiad in 2018.
Hmm, that's
Yeah,
cool. Is he
he
a
helped us a
grandmaster?
lot. He is from Serbia.
Do you guys always get a grandmaster to coach the South African women's Olympiad team?
Um, in recent years, we've gotten a lot of like help and stuff. Well, at least we try to. It's very last minute, unfortunately, so it doesn't help all the time. Um, but yeah, in past years, not so much.
Oh, not so much.
Not so much, but like 2018 was, I think, the best that we had. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then COVID hit, stuff
Right.
happened.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I've never been to the Olympiad, but it's
Mhm.
definitely one of my goals.
Okay.
And it's looking very unlikely as a player But I'm open to coaching opportunities
Whoa, yes, 100%.
if
You should come
anyone's
as
out
a South
there.
African coach. It would be awesome.
Oh, that would be sick. I mean, I'm very good at preparation. I do have experience. I coached the U.S. youth team, like World Under 10, Under 12, the
Hmm.
kiddos, and help them prepare. So, yeah, I could do a great job.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'll speak to whoever's in charge, which is not so easy right now because there's a huge fight for power in the South African Federation scene. Lots of drama if you like drama and you want to read about it.
Oh,
Ah, it's horrible. So I would know who to speak to right now, but I would put your name forward. I'm pretty sure everyone would be on board.
sweet.
Because
No,
Rebecca and I are on the team, so that's pretty cool.
nice. I know for like
Yeah.
the U.S. team, they have like the players vote. Do you guys like leave it up to the players or?
Mostly. Uh, yeah, I mean, last year they made it look like we had a vote. Yeah, that was a little unfortunate, but that's okay. As much as I love drama, I hate it when it's my drama.
Right.
Yeah, I like to read about it, not be a part of it.
Yeah, it's always nicer from afar, especially Twitter.
Yeah,
Man, Twitter has been wild lately, really crazy. Um,
yeah. Oh, are you on Twitter a lot, like looking at drama and stuff?
yeah. No, I mean it's my favorite show these days. Twitter, chess Twitter.
Oh wow,
It's the Elon Musk show.
Elon Musk.
I know he's one of your guys. You're probably a big fan, or I don't know. I should have assumed.
Am I a big fan of Elon Musk?
What is yeah? Because I know it's like
Because he's South
he's South
African?
African, but he's very controversial.
Wow.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's my best friend's dentist's uncle.
Wow. Wow. Wait, I thought you were yeah, you're gonna be like sarcastic. Like, yeah, he's my best friend. No, you said a serious thing. He's your best friend's
Yeah,
dentist's uncle. Dang.
yeah.
Small
So
world.
yeah, my best friend's dentist is Dr. Musk, and that's Elon's uncle, you know. Yeah.
Oh, it's Elon's uncle.
Yeah.
So his uncle is a dentist who uh
Yes.
who works with your best friend. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wow.
Who works on my best friend. Yeah. That's it.
That's so funny. Um
Yeah.
it's hilarious. Oh, let me just make some moves on the board. So bishop e6 play. The game's kind of heating up. G5. Black took, and then knight takes g5 was their response. That is, I think that's what we have. And Alex to play. Ooh, she's now down under 16 minutes. So this is now time pressure.
Ooh.
Of
Wait, you can
course.
see the clock?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Damn, got
it's
the whole like
clear enough.
HD 1084K.
Yeah, her phone's good quality. I don't know. Yeah, it seems the connection has held up pretty well for the most part.
That's good.
But
Minus the split second. Oh, that's brilliant. Wait,
yeah,
I need to see this position. So 95 is the last one. I'm looking at the stream now.
that's right. Yeah, so we had bishop b6, g5 takes, and then could have taken with the pawn, but decided to take with the knight, which is definitely somewhat controversial decision because it leaves white's pawns much weaker. But of course he's playing for the attack here.
Hmm.
So, but this is double edged. I would say this is not like I don't think white just wins this super easily. It's not like black can defend. Alex just played rook c8. I'm happy to see that on the board. Like, what else are you gonna do, kind of thing. You know, just get your last
Mm.
rook into the game and make it your
But
opponent's clock that runs.
if I make queen g4
Mm-hmm.
or like queen h4 or queen h3 and then trying to hit h7, I feel like black has to play queen h8
Um,
almost.
maybe we can get away with queen g7,
But then
but
bishop. Okay, I see. Can the bishop hit that diagonal maybe?
yeah, then white certainly starts looking for it. So Alex's last move, rook c8, of course, is very important because this makes bishop c3 a lot harder to get in.
Mm.
Um, so white definitely has some chances here, but yeah, it's gonna be sharp, and I'm sure he's probably analyzing these lines right now. So, but we have time. I think we can look at it a little bit. So, like, let's say queen g4. Um, I feel like black should try to go active. I'll just say rook c2, for example. Queen h4. We can also do queen h3. Maybe let's say queen h3. Queen g7.
Mm, okay.
And then it's not so obvious how white continues. White definitely has moves. Bishop e4, for example. Okay,
Right.
bishop e4 might be a problem.
Ooh, and the rook sort of has to come back.
Yeah, exactly. Because rook takes a2, bishop c3. That's ugly. Very, very ugly. So, okay. I think we're starting to see some issues for black, right? Once the pieces start improving, it's like, yeah, there could be some threats.
Hmm.
So, let's
So
say
we haven't
queen.
seen queen
Mhm.
there yet.
Yeah, he's still thinking after rook c8 because maybe he can start with bishop e4 also. Might just be a simpler way to approach the position, not even let the rook in,
Hmm.
and then look to transfer the queen. But for sure, like he played knight takes g5. I mean, it seems like white is playing for some kind of kingside attack.
Mm. Oh, that's true. So Felix says, wouldn't bishop c1 be a better first move? I suppose now, but with the rook on c2, as Kostya mentioned, it's sort of difficult to get the bishop to b2 because I was looking for ways to do that as well. But then there's that bishop e4.
Yeah, but that is yeah, that's what white is trying to find. Some way, like if this bishop gets on the long diagonal, now that black's bishop is off of it, then it's
Mm.
very, very scary. So he
Would it be
played.
worth giving up the rook to achieve this? Not giving up,
Ooh,
I suppose, but like exchanging the rook.
like
So
rook
like rook
c1.
c1 at some stage after the queen gets the h file.
Yeah, I mean, actually, that would definitely be an example of where you can like it would make sense to kind of break the rule a bit because then yeah, if the bishop is able to land on b2 and you have all these mating ideas, that would be pretty
Mm.
serious. Um, Absolutely. Super Mario is asking if it's equal chances. Unfortunately, no. I think white's better on the board and on the clock also. In fact, I'm not even sure what's more dangerous for Alex here because it's a very tough position to play with like just 14 minutes left, 30-second increments, lots of pieces, lots of tactics coming.
Tactinos.
Actinos, yeah.
Can't say them any other way now.
That's hilarious. So Queen D3 played. Ooh, Queen D3 is smart because that stops Rook C2 and still lets him play Queen H3 whenever he wants to.
Ooh, spicy.
Yeah, I think we might be dealing with like a really good chess player here, unfortunately.
Oh, darn it, I hate those.
Yeah, yeah. But he's looking a little
Yeah.
relaxed. It's game's not over.
Hmm.
Alex needs to just keep fighting here and yeah, figure out what exactly the threat is. So white goes Queen H3, we're going Queen G7. And then there's maybe like Bishop C1 in that position looking for Bishop B2.
Hmm.
Right? So black needs to try to anticipate this, maybe find a move to play. In the meantime, like you could maybe start with Queen. You could play Queen H8 here, maybe actually, if we're so disturbed by White's queen coming to H3.
Yeah, I was thinking, oh, immediately. So Queen
Mm-hmm.
H8 immediately. Hmm.
Because otherwise F7
Like,
hangs if we wait, for the queen
hmm.
trade. Um,
You think Rook F1, Rook F3?
oh, if we go Queen H8.
Or is that too much?
No, I mean I'm definitely not happy with Black's. But there's also just like F5 could be a simple way to just immediately open things up. But yeah, Rook
Ooh.
F1, Rook F3 also. Yeah, well, it's more pieces for White. It's hard to defend this position. White has.
Is there a way for Black to double up on the C file maybe in that time?
We can try. It'd be nice if we could go like Rook C2 and then Rook C8, but yeah, unfortunately we have to start like Rook C7 and then bring the
Mm.
other the other rook in.
I suppose the question is still posed to White, like how does White progress?
Yeah, so if Rook C7. Oh, looks like that was played. Okay, good.
Oh,
Oh, here's Pepe. He's checking out the games.
yo, Pepe
And
in the tank top. Ratatata.
sometimes it's kind of a tell, like how quickly a grandmaster looks over and then walks away in terms of how quickly they're evaluating the situation. So that was
Yeah.
not.
Can guarantee he is not wearing an orange jacket,
Huh.
just a pink pants.
He must have taken it off.
Yes, 100%.
Um, okay, well now Rook C7 is on the board. We're gonna find out what White wants. I would expect Queen H3 to throw this in.
I almost
And
said something rather silly. I was gonna say, boy, there are a lot of Spanish players until I realized where the the tournament was being played.
true.
Um,
There's sure a lot of chess
yeah,
players in this room, huh?
a lot of chess players. Uh, uh, getting the game back up.
Yeah, unfortunately he's focused now.
That's
And so far,
insane.
yeah.
Chess.com gives me the accuracy of the game as it's being played. I didn't know
Wow.
that was a feature. Yeah.
Dang.
So far, we have White playing with 97.6% accuracy, and Black is playing with 93.8% accuracy. So that's not bad chess.
I guess so. I don't really put a lot of faith in these numbers because you look at Alex. Like, you really think she's feeling 93% right now? Like,
I mean,
yeah.
when the numbers are that high, then I will stop believing them because I always want to believe that I'm 93% good at chess, and only the 7% bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand though.
Yeah, I think they're just a little optimistic. They do give some picture. I definitely think her opponent has played really well so far, for sure.
Mhm.
Um, but and I think she's played well as well. It's just like she missed one thing, this like E4 idea. But unfortunately, it's a big thing to miss.
Mm.
And then it's just like that's it. Like, it's really nothing she could have done after 95. Like, White essentially just played all the right moves, and it's like you just get a tough position. So it's like she really only made one mistake in the game, as far as I can really see.
Yeah.
But it happens to be a very serious mistake. And
It's horrible that one move can be the make or break. I mean, you play a perfect game and then you make one mistake, and that's it.
yeah,
And the worst part is you'll know that you played really well. And if the result is not in your favor, a lot of people will look at the results rather than the game itself and be like, oh, but you lost. But you know that in the end, it was a good game.
it is important, I think, yeah, to judge things based on how you did and like the effort you put in. I remember I lost this game once to Grandmaster Melikhachian, who's actually currently leading the U.S. Senior Championship here in St. Louis, and like we went over the game and I lost it, but I was like it was really close and we're analyzing, and it was like I was basically like maybe one move away from drawing or so, and then that gave me a lot of confidence for like the rest of the tournament because like still played well. It's just like
Mm.
okay, didn't have quite enough to succeed in this game, but yeah, that doesn't mean you're a bad player. It just means your opponent played slightly better in that game. Like your opponent is also allowed to have a good game.
Mm.
Unfortunately, very unfortunately, I've been trying to change this for many years,
Unfortunately.
but they're not. No one listens. No one listens.
Darn it, all I want to do is poison my opponent before the game. I shouldn't
Yeah.
have said that out loud. What? Yeah.
Or at least like it'd be nice if tournaments were kind of designated. Like your next tournament is gonna be good. Everyone loses to you. Then maybe next tournament, someone else gets a turn. It's just
Yeah. It's
everyone
like when
just
is it my turn and then it's never your turn sort of vibes.
exactly.
Yeah. Next tournament, Kostya, it's your turn.
Oh, for me, I'll be playing actually pretty soon. In 2 weeks, I'll be playing the U.S. Open, which is
Okay.
here in the great state of Michigan.
Nice.
Which
You make it sound like it's not really a great state. Are we? Yeah. What's wrong with Michigan?
no, all states are great. I guess the U.S. is very competitive, and so
Is
everyone
that
has
what
their
they teach in the
favorite
schools
state.
there?
Hmm.
Is that what they teach in the schools of America, that you're supposed to say that every state is great?
That's right. Yeah,
Okay,
every
makes
state
sense.
is great and has healthy history, and the U.S. never did anything wrong ever to anybody, and we were just trying to get some freedom. Okay.
Oh no, Kostya's gonna be missing tomorrow. He's just gonna go missing, and we're gonna go look for him. Wow. No, that's awesome. No, I was saying that the next tournament it's your turn,
I hope so.
Yeah, to get the good games.
That would be nice. Yeah, that would be. I would definitely take it. But yeah, actually, that's starting in less than 2 weeks. That's like 10 days away, but not too far from
Ooh.
St. Louis. So, be kind of a quick
How's the
couple flights.
preparation? What are you doing in order to prepare?
Oof. I guess that's what we don't talk about on this channel. It's like what I'm
Oh,
doing
sorry.
for my own
Okay.
chess. Yeah,
Right. Of
that's
course. Because people are sniping to find out what
oh
you're
no,
doing, and then they're going to use your strengths against you.
not even. I wish I was that good. No, I think it's more just all my time goes into streaming and supporting the dojo and teaching the dojo and making content and helping others achieve their dreams that I get very little time to work on my own chess, but um I'm not
That's so
complaining.
hard, Walt.
I'm not
It's
complaining.
like all your energy and time going to someone else. You need to put yourself first for once.
Yeah. Usually leading up to the event, I tend to scale down like the amount of work I'm doing, and I try to do more like my own chess stuff. So yeah, I'm hoping to start that soon. The tournament coming up.
Procrastinators unite
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Every state
um,
has two senators.
that's right. We
Is
have
that like a mayor?
we have somewhat complicated political system. We have two senators, and then depending on the population of the state, you get more or less representatives. We have a huge House of Representatives, and then senators they vote on some stuff. Representatives they have to vote on other stuff, and then for like big stuff they like both have to kind of agree.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Okay.
it's messy. It's messy.
Sounds very easy to understand, of course.
Yeah. Um,
So a senator is not like a mayor then.
yeah, senator's more like a representative of the state. the state
Okay.
interests, and then the mayor would be more hands-on. And we have a
Hmm.
governor too.
A governor. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
so
so many
every
people.
state has a governor. They're like the president of the state, and then every city will have a mayor.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you guys
Hmm.
not have mayors? How does it work over
We,
there?
we have mayors
Oh, okay.
in our city. Yeah, or our sort of metropole. Well,
Ooh, metropole.
yeah. So here in my hometown, we have a mayor who probably governs like the region. Yeah, I should know more about this stuff. It's my country. And then we also have in when it comes to elections, a bunch of parties. It's not between two people. We have many parties that
Hmm.
run for presidency. Yeah.
So you have many candidates, and then do you boil it down, or do they all go on the ballot?
They all go on. Yeah.
Oh,
If you have the money to have a party, then there you go. They're all on the election sheet and you can choose. So we have like the DA, the ANC, the ABC, the XYZ and stuff like that. So
interesting.
or the EFF.
Because like
Yeah.
here, what
Lots
happens
of
is
parties.
like so we'll get a lot of candidates. Of course, we have the two
Hmm.
parties, but then what also happens is like they just like cut deals with each other. So we'll have like 8 candidates, and then maybe 2 of them are similar, 3 of them are kind of similar. You know, they believe different stuff, but they're closer. And then they don't want to split the vote. So the slightly more popular one of the 3, you know, goes to the other 2, and it's like, hey guys, drop out and support me. I'll give you money and power. And they're like, okay, you know, that's just how things work. And then they drop out, and then eventually it's just one versus one. Just people drop out, and
That
then
makes a lot more sense. And we would have a lot more votes for one side than the other, because then it's split this way. It's like 50% for the party that has been in power for forever, and then like 30%, and the rest is just like scattered amongst the rest,
oh, I see.
which probably would have made more sense if they were head on head, because I think the votes would be a lot closer. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's
We haven't, yeah, we're still third world. We need to become second world and then first.
oh, I see.
Like America. America.
Yeah, I mean, we got our problems too. We are very blessed. I do feel very lucky to live here, but yeah, no, but that was the end of the sentence. That was the end of the thought. Shoot, Alex has 3 minutes. This is very tough for her right now. Bishop e4 is the last move played, just covering c2 square. Very reasonable looking move. Also, just kind of aiming for possibly f5 and rook g1, and all these moves on the king side are going to be. I mean, not rook g1, that hangs the rook. Maybe rook f1, and playing further. So, yeah, bishop c1 I think was playable as well. Um, and then black would have to figure out what to do because bishop b2 would be a very real threat after
And then
queen
rook
b2.
c2.
Um,
Oh, okay.
and oh, I just mean yeah, if black did nothing. But you could go rook c2. I think that would be a very reasonable response. So this is probably why he started with bishop e4. But we have moves. Bishop e4, e6 played. And yeah, totally understandable. Alex is just trying to open up the second rook and maybe get some chances like on the e file. Who knows? There could also always be some tactics. So he takes.
Mm, I see.
And now I feel like I'm not sure what exactly she had in mind here. As the pawn is kind of hanging.
Hmm.
So pawn takes. You
Take a
could play pawn
Ronian.
takes e6, but then minimum there's knight takes, maybe other moves as well.
Oof.
Yeah, I don't know if she has such a great follow-up here. Maybe she saw something and then realized she miscalculated, and now she's like, "Uh-oh, why did I play e6?"
Oh, maybe she wanted to play something like f5 or f6 or something and pick up the pawn that way and forgot the queen was still covered. Or
No, good call, good
f6,
call. Yeah, f6 on the board.
then f5
Yeah.
because it covers the queen's path and you're kicking away the knight.
Mm-hmm. Um, okay.
But then d6 is hanging after knight f7. I don't know.
Yeah, it's should be good for white here. Um, there's a lot of moves. Okay, he just played bishop d5. That looks quite strong. Just ignoring the threat and creating e7 as a even more powerful threat.
Wait, what happened? Okay, bishop d5.
Yeah. I think your
Oof.
move knight f7 was probably also fine
Oh,
for white, but yeah, he's basically just trying to end the game right now.
oh my
And
gosh. So
no.
rook e7?
Yeah, rook e7 could be played. Looks like she went rook c5, which also works, at least as an immediate solution. Only 2 minutes for Alex, so yeah, basically has to play very quickly and try to defend as best as she can.
Hmm. The crazy thing about this is I can't use the evaluation bar or evaluation because I'm not keeping up with the moves on your board. So all I have to go off is what I see on stream, and I'm like, my brain evaluation bar isn't quite working. It's slightly broken.
That's okay, Jesse. I think, this is a feeling I would encourage you to explore more. This feeling of your brain eval. I think that's definitely
Yeah.
something I would encourage you to develop.
The only problem with that Kostya
Hmm.
is that I might have to start thinking, and that is where the problem lies.
What do you have to stop thinking?
uh, you see, I always assumed that commentary was just screaming out engine moves excitingly and claiming it as your own evaluation, especially at my level. But with you, you're lucky you don't have to do that because your brain is the engine and the evaluation bar. So I'm just trying to keep up and catch up, you know. I'm just kidding. Uh,
No, all good, all good. But I would say, I think it's the other way around.
oh,
Maybe it's the doing that gets you the engine brain, you know,
oh,
rather than the
okay.
other, rather than the reverse.
Doing.
Um,
Uh,
well, let's put it to the test. What moves would you consider here as
but now I looked
as
at
white?
chat and I feel like I'm cheating.
The chat
So
can be
so
very
chat
smart.
says, yeah. So the chat says bishop c3. Says it is what it is there
Okay, bishop c3.
because now the pawn is on f6 and the queen is not attacking c3 anymore.
That's definitely a really serious move.
Hmm.
And then
Ooh,
rook
someone in my
takes
chat
c3.
says I scream center pawn advantage. That's like the best thing in the world. Be like, I'm up two center pawns.
That's
Go!
funny.
Excitingly.
How's it going? Minus point 0.3.
Wow.
Yeah, bishop
You know,
c3 I think is
thinking,
it would end the game
yeah.
probably. It's pretty serious.
We were talking about daylight savings, and I forgot to add that I only learned what daylight savings was about 3 years ago. Before that, I didn't even know what it was, and I thought it was a myth. And yeah, I started coaching students who were in the US for the first time, and that's when I learned about this mystical daylight savings concept. And it just was gibberish to me. And I was like, how does that work? Is it just this year? Is it something that you implementing permanently? Yeah, it was crazy. I had no idea.
Yeah,
Rook
no, we're
can't
just used
take
to it.
C3. Rook can't take C3 because of E7 check.
That's right.
Oh,
Very good, Jesse and Felix.
Yeah, I was just reading chat. It's all Felix. So, oh right, oh right, and the bishop isn't hanging anymore. Makes sense.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Hmm.
He's taking his time here, which also unfortunate because he has plenty of it. He has 30 minutes and more
Okay,
than
I was
enough
gonna
time
ask what the
to
time situation was now.
figure it out. Yeah, it's 30 minutes for White, 2.5 minutes for Alex. So
Mhm.
very tough. Could be other moves here as well. Um, but yeah, Bishop C3 feels like the cleanest. Bishop E3 is also possible. Well, actually, hold on. Bishop C3 is not. Nah, it's pretty clear. I mean, Rook takes D5, Rook takes D5, and then we don't really have a great follow up there for Black. But it's not on the board yet, so he might come up with a different move.
I enjoyed the thinking out loud. It was great.
Oh, okay.
Have you played in Chess Play Quick, or do you play in those tournaments or
Um,
competitions?
Just play quick. Yeah, I did. I did a few of them. I think I did like the 961, and then
Hmm.
maybe another one. Oh yeah, Bishop C3 on the board. That's tough to see. How about you? Do you do those often?
Yeah, there's actually one today, which is a little bit different because it's in well, International Chess Day. Happy International
Happy
Chess Day,
International
by the
Chess
way.
Day! Yay!
Yeah. So they're running the chess play quick, I think, for the entire day. Well, there's like 12 arenas lasting 2 hours each. So I think every 2 hours there's one going. And they'll count your first participation if you compete in it and if you stream it and stuff like that. So
Oh, very cool.
I think that's still going on. Yeah.
Um,
Maybe at midnight, my time after load shedding hits, I'll go live and play 2 hours. No, I'll see how I feel.
nice.
But it's amazing how chess, well, rather, yeah, chess.com is also including other platforms like Kick now.
Mm-hmm.
What's your take on Kick, by the way?
I don't have huge opinions on it, and oh, actually, by the way, game is ending.
Oh,
I'll just let's update everyone. So Rook C8
yeah,
played,
sure, sure.
E7 check. She went Rook takes D5, and I think overlooked Queen takes Rook, but game is
Mhm.
over anyway, and yeah, she resigns because mate is coming. So tough game, but again, opponent, I think he played like really well. So hard to uh, hard to blame Alex for
Yeah.
it, but yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. But 4 rounds to go, and
Hmm.
she still has everything left to play for. So far, she's only lost to like people above 2200, right? So it's
Yeah.
very understandable.
That's always the nice thing about playing high rated players because you have nothing to lose. If you have a great result, awesome, you're gaining a lot of rating. If you don't have a great result, then you're not losing a lot. Plus, you gain like a bunch of XP points and you're leveling up and stuff like that. So there you have it. There is literally no disadvantage to playing up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
So
now
for
she's
me,
gonna. Hmm?
Alexandra usually join us for a call afterwards, or how does it go?
Yeah, usually she does. I think we can just invite her to the Zoom call, and then
Hmm.
that should work. But yeah, she's gonna
Awesome.
collect her stuff and walk out of the playing hall. Um, it'd be yeah, maybe not everyone knows this, but it's like very silent in there. So if she just started talking, like it'd be so fun. Everyone would just like immediately turn in this direction, like look over, like what the hell.
Yeah. Oh,
Man, let me
all right. So
grab
we'll
the
wait
Zoom
for her.
link.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you saying just before all that happened?
It's okay. It's probably not even a topic that's supposed to be discussed on Twitch.
Oh, it was kick, right? Kick. I forgot.
It's okay. I'm all about
Kick was
um,
interesting.
towing the edge of the line on Twitch.
Right. Um,
So good. Ooh,
okay, we lost the cam. I'm gonna message your.
we're getting an IRL walking stream.
All right. 1 second, folks.
Mm-hmm.
She'll probably join us in the Zoom. And then the cameras are going to get all messed. I'm just warning everyone, the cameras are going to get all messed up, and we'll fix it. And talk to Alex for a bit, hear her thoughts.
It's okay. I've always wanted to be Kostya for a day. They usually put us in the wrong slots.
What happened?
No, and the cameras shake it up when someone joins or leaves, and the
Oh,
Zoom
right.
cams. Yeah, go spazzed.
Yeah.
Are you someone in chat? We were watching Anna Meyer. Oh my gosh. I'm sure her stream is still up, guys.
Sorry. That's funny. Oh, yeah, but her stream, they were, I think, using the camera at some point. I feel like they didn't have one, so they were just using Alex's view.
Oh,
So
okay.
when she's done, it's like they lose. But
Oh no.
I think they're okay. It looked like, yeah, she had her own camera. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, Anna's stream has crashed. Was it the same angle as you guys saw on this stream, or
I think it was in front of Anna Maya, no?
it looked like, yeah, she had her own setup.
Oh,
Um,
shoes, feet.
or maybe Jesse, it'd be easier for you to just go back to the Discord. Or hold on, Alex is saying something.
Oh, maybe actually. Sure.
Oh, hold on. It looks like she's just gonna join the Zoom. So let's not complicate it. I think
Okay,
she's just gonna join
perfect.
us here.
Perfecto. Professionalism. Yeah, we're making it work.
Yeah. This has been the official coverage of the third Club Ajedrez Monteolivete International, taking place in Valencia, Spain. Brought to you by chess.com, the country of Spain, European Union, and the Monteolivete Chess Club.
And Kostya Kavutsky.
Yeah, thank you. And Jesse February.
Hope I said your last name. Hope I said your last name correctly.
Oh yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Um,
Pretty. Oh, Anna's streaming from the hotel on her laptop. That's interesting.
oh, she just got her whole laptop set up. Wow.
Inspired. That's another thing I'm really concerned about. Like I'm streaming my game and I'm worried about the quality of the stream, or I'm worried about this or that, and feel like my attention would be super split. So if it was a really important tournament, I would love to stream it, but I just would be so worried about everything else
Yeah.
instead of the chess.
Yeah, definitely. It's a big mental burden. So you have to be
Yeah.
yeah, you have to be very careful because it just, well, it's gonna just cut into your like prep time regardless, just sending everything up, and then yeah, you're wondering like, oh, is the stream okay and all this stuff. So it's like I feel like you need like an assistant or like a handler that just takes care of it all for you, so you can just go play and they can handle the tech stuff. And
Mm,
but yeah, it's hard to come by. You need a really dedicated mod.
yeah.
Oh, looks like we
Or
got
hire
Alex.
someone to do it.
All right, here we
Oh,
go.
awesome.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, let's get the cams in. All right.
Can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, how's it going?
Alex.
Hi, Kostya. Hi, Jessie. Here
Hi.
I'm with my opponent.
Oh, hi, opponent.
Hi, Jess.
Oh, good
Yeah.
game, good game.
He's
We have actually played together in the Commonwealth in Delhi in
ah.
2014.
You already play with him, Jessie.
Hi.
And yeah, I saw your recent World Championship interview. It was really awesome. Yeah.
Oh,
Did you
interesting.
hear that?
I think,
Thank
Yeah.
you.
yeah. And then today's game actually, it was kind of, I decided to play c4 and knight f3 on the board because I haven't touched this knight f3 c4 opening from like last couple of years. And I was trying to remember all those lines. It was, taking some time since I checked her games online. She played.
He didn't want I play the Accelerate Dragon.
She was playing Accelerated Dragon, and there were a lot of good games of her. And I decided not to go into the theoretical part so much. And then I checked for some King Indian setup, but I didn't really put it. I just started to play c4 at the last moment when I was like to the tournament call. And okay, that was quite interesting.
I was waiting. I was waiting.
She actually tried this knight d4 instead of knight d5. I don't know. What the complicated it is.
Yeah, we were thinking knight d4 instead of knight e5. Knight e5 probably was a mistake. For sure.
He was a mistake.
And then for knight d4, I had some easy. I calculated some easy, but then there were knight d5. Black kind of barely survived. Or maybe I thought that actually that was kind of slightly better, but so that was something hard. Was the knight even working question?
What?
The knight even
When?
when I played knight e1 in the game.
Hello? Hi.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, the connection's not great. You're asking about knight e1?
Yeah, was this knight e1 good? I didn't like.
I didn't like neither. I was, what can I play against knight e1? I think instead knight e1, they play more knight d2, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, some knight d2 I thought about, but then since the bishop was on d2, I haven't played. I was not able to play knight d2, so I just decided to play the knight somewhere. But I don't know if knight even works or not. I just thought that's something and I just played it.
Yeah, I thought 91 was quite reasonable. I don't know. It seemed like useful move to me. Just bring knight to c2 and e3.
Yeah, I was just trying to play against the threat of knight e4. She was preparing some kind of knight e4 thing. Then I thought that's the only move to stop the knight e4 earlier.
Oh, knight d4.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking that. Either I try to trade the bishops, or I try to play knight d4, how you say. So that was my 2 plans, but I think
that was it.
I lost.
So you guys are on Twitch?
Yes, they are streaming in 3 channels right now.
We're on 3 channels. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Bye.
Oh my god. I was preparing my game to play the Accelerated Dragon. Actually, I was happy with my thread, and then he decided to, in the last minute, to change that.
That's unfair. That's just not fair.
Yeah, it's cool that you sort of got the Accelerated Dragon. I mean, Kostya and I were talking about that, and he had actually said, this looks like a Sicilian at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi. Okay. Sorry.
No,
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I play really bad because I lost in the opening. 2 pieces for the rook. I think is a lot, and I didn't feel like I had any compensation, like or to build some attack, nothing. So I didn't like the game.
Yeah, yeah. After 95, I think there's just like no chances. Unfortunately, it was just
Yeah.
tough. But all right.
It's even hard to see from that position. It didn't look lost at all until these pawns came. So
Yeah.
well played. Yeah.
And the worst thing is like I saw all this, but I missed like I wanted to play bishop. How is it? G4. Is that correct?
Bishop G4.
No. It-
Oh yeah,
wait.
bishop g4 we discussed, and then bishop f3.
Bishop f3, and then I was thinking to take the bishop, but the problem is he takes with the rook, and I didn't calculate that. I was like the queen or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have
Yeah.
been so nice if you got 2 rooks for those pieces. It would have been really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Okay. I hope
But as
tomorrow
Kostya said,
I have another round.
yeah, Kostya said there's 4 games left, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I hope to win the next one and to play a better chess.
Yeah, everything left to play for. Are you playing tomorrow morning, Alex?
Yeah, tomorrow morning and afternoon, both.
Okay, cool.
Double round.
Yeah.
Eh,
Well, good luck.
Thank
Hope
you.
you get some rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. And I'm sorry again for losing. I feel bad.
You don't have to
No, just
apologize.
you gave us some content. It was good.
Yeah, it was a good game, Alex. Yeah, it was a good fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
did well. That's all part of it. It's all part of it.
Okay. Yeah, I will forget this and try for tomorrow. Thank you for being here, Kostya and Jessie. I appreciate this a lot. Thank you.
Of course,
Crossing
of course.
fingers for tomorrow. Good luck.
Yeah. Thank you, chat too. Thank you.
Oh, wholesome. Oh, cool.
I will read the chat in a minute.
Yes, of course. They miss you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Jessie. Thank you, Kostya.
Yeah, chat soon. Good luck.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Take
Bye.
care. All right. Okay. It's gonna. Yep. Screw up the cams again. All right. Give me a sec,
Awesome.
folks. Let me
Oh,
fix things up.
I did manage to be an IM for a couple seconds. It was just the top of your head cut off, and
Yeah, I didn't quite
unfortunately.
get there, unfortunately. All right, let's fix you. Let's delete this.
Oh, is that my microphone? Oh, wow.
Yeah, amazing how the.
An international master microphone. Awesome.
It's over 100
So will
mics
you
right
be
there.
commentating again tomorrow, Kostya?
So tomorrow, maybe the evening game. The
Mhm.
morning game, definitely not. That'll be too early for me. Hopefully someone else is able to do that one. I know Reddy, the streamer Reddy, he was covering the morning game earlier. Maybe he'll be able to do it again. I'm not sure.
Okay. Oh, Retty. Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I think hopefully we'll be able to do the evening game, which is
Okay,
like
cool.
morning time for me. How about you? You want to do this again? Are you around?
I want to. Tomorrow's a little bit tough because I have a podcast thing that we're doing
Oh.
for tomorrow, and I've put it off like 2 months. So finally, I have some time to do it. Unfortunately, but maybe over the weekend if I'm not competing. I'm actually playing in a tournament on Saturday Paradigm 30. I don't know if you know
Hmm.
this variant.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's a variant on chess.com called Paradigm 30. And oh, Alexandra's in chat. Amazing. Give her some love, guys. And yeah, Paradigm 30 has been created by a South African and it's on chess.com now, so that's really cool. They're
Oh,
having
nice.
a tournament,
It's like a
hosting and promoting.
chess variant.
Yeah, it's a chess variant, and we have dragon bishops. That's what they called.
And how does that work? I'm just curious.
I yeah, I think it tracks back to how I'm not sure if this was something part of like the past, but dragon bishops basically can move like knights, but they can't, and bishops, but they can't move through pieces. So there has to be a sort of path for them. It's hard to describe. I need the actual description, but yes, description is online for sure.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, it is very interesting. Yeah.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
And
hopefully we'll see you again.
no, it'd be really cool. And good luck with the commentary tomorrow if you're commentating. And I will be watching the game, so this makes me want to watch the tournament. So I'll be keeping up
Yay.
keeping up with the Spains.
Yeah, it's fun
Spaniards.
to watch someone like the whole game. You know, you kind of live with them, the ups and the downs.
Oh yeah, it's nice. And I can't wait for the big turnaround. It's gonna be great. And you were saying that I heard you say Ready. I thought you said Ready is going to be streaming in the morning. I'm like, Ready? I've never heard of this person. But you meant Retty. And I was like, oh yes. With the American accent, you don't pronounce the T's all that much. So it's like water. Water.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
famous Richard Reddy.
Ready. Awesome. But okay, I think we're gonna close. I don't know if you wrap up now or not.
Yeah, we'll wrap up. Are you streaming or are you done as well?
I think I'll be done for now because I have to prepare for load shedding. Power's going out in like an hour and a half, so I'm just gonna get a few things ready and stuff like that.
Okay,
Not
cool.
ready, get a few things ready.
Everything's ready. Well
Yeah,
then
but enjoy.
we'll have to rate
Are you gonna
someone.
be streaming?
No, I think I'm done. So actually, here it's International Chess Day. It's also the St. Louis Chess Club. They're doing their 15-year anniversary party today. So they're gonna have this
Oh,
big thing at the chess club, and there's like face painting and ice cream. So I'm very excited for that. I'm gonna go down for that
whoa.
for sure. Yeah,
Wait, you're going there? That's amazing.
I'm gonna walk down. Yeah, it's still it's like 1:30 p.m. right now. Can you believe it?
Yeah. I hope you're posting photos of the face paint that you're gonna get.
I'll take some photos.
That's great.
Maybe I'll get my face
We'll look
painted.
out for it on Twitter and Instagram, guys. We need to go and bully Kostya when he gets his face painted. It's gonna be
Yeah,
epic.
just push the kids out of the way. Get out of here.
See, there's no other way to do it. Okay, I'm also gonna send off for raid. Are they streaming it or not?
They are probably not. They are doing a stream right now, but I imagine they're not going to be streaming that event.
Mhm.
But no, we should rate either Hannah or Lily because looks like they're still playing, or Anna Maya.
Oh, yes.
Maybe Anna Maya,
Okay. Do you
actually,
want to
our
do like
neighbor.
yeah, collaborate? Let's do it. You choose
Absolutely.
and we'll follow.
Let's do Anna Maya.
Okay, awesome. Okay, chats and everyone, we'll see you soon. And keep an eye on the tournament. I'll definitely be live soon enough. For those of you not in our Discords, join the Chess Dojo Discord. Join my Discord if you like memes. And I'll see you soon.
Oh yeah, let me give you a shout out, guys. Follow Jessie February on her channel. Follow Alexandra as well. And catch you guys next
Yes, I'm
time.
gonna give you
Jesse, this was
guys.
super fun. Thanks for
It
hanging out.
was. Thank you. I think it's our first time commentating alongside us, talking to chat about chess talks back in the day.
Yeah.
And
Go
yeah,
Chess.
Ultimate Sensei. But I definitely would love to. I feel like I learned from you. I was the one just providing nonsensical information and awesome questions. So should definitely commentate
So
together again.
I think I picked up
Uh,
a few memes as well. No, it was a very fruitful discussion for me too. Appreciate it. All right,
Awesome.
y'all. See you guys.